Sorry, everybody. We're getting a late start here. As Jeff Ledger would say, technical difficulties. We'll be on in about a minute. All right, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. Welcome to DYOR Live. My name is Tom, otherwise known as Striking here in the digital media universe. So glad to be hosting another episode of this great show along with my co-host, Pedro Garcia in the window over here. Pedro, what is happening today on this 21st day of November?
It is a beautiful day, man. I cannot complain. You have snow. I have rain. We have technical difficulties. It's a glorious day. Anyways,
I woke up this morning and looked out the window. First, I looked at my phone. Bitcoin pumping. Woo, woo.
That's what I'm saying, baby.
And snow puking. I skied Fernie out in Alberta. No, British Columbia. The ski area.
Nice.
The night I get there, I'm with my uncle. He's almost my age. We're at a restaurant, and our waitress just looks out the window, and she goes, like something like, "Holy shit, it's puking out there, eh?" It was it's ski town snow lingo. Anyway, it's cold and miserable here in Chicago today. I forgot to put my motorcycle away and all that. But Pedro, we got a good show today. We got a good show.
Yeah,
we've had a good week. We had a lot of viewership. We've done some night shows, that type of stuff. And one of the things that I always like to do is I always like to have guests on to vary it up from our, lengthy sessions.
Yes, we do.
Lengthy.
Our blathering on sessions.
And today we have Legit DAO in the house. We have Steve Rodrigue. And there's a French way to say it, but my American English and restaurant Mexican don't pronounce the R's correctly. We'll have him on in a few minutes here. But Pedro, because we got a late start, let's talk about Bitcoin here.
Absolutely. Let's go into this, guys. It has been a beautiful thing. We talked about Bitcoin going through, hitting a few of these setups. And I think what's so interesting is that, all right, it is, like I've talked about, we want to get in on the pullbacks, right? Like these pullbacks into this area. This thing is much like the other ones. As it starts to get going, it takes wings and it flies. And so that's why I said, guys, create some type of trending mechanism that you're going to use in which you can get in on a trade that as it continues. If it doesn't pull back, we want to get in on it, right? As it's pushing. So you guys can see from me, my 8-period moving average this morning was hot to trot. During the London Open, we definitely saw the market get going, right? They came in and they said, it's time to get this baby pumping.
Gonna pump it up,
right.
Do the Randy Hipper, pump it up.
And so we talked about not yesterday, right, with Bitcoin. As it was coming up, we saw this period, not a lot of supply wicks right here, right, between yesterday. And we saw this sell-off, which is always a good thing. Whenever I don't see supply wicks and we're coming down, remember supply wicks are the seller wicks, the wicks on top, right? We want to sit there and see what happens there. And so when we sit there and we're looking at it, I expected us to come down into these areas. And I said, look, just like here, we saw this pop up, right? We talked about this on Monday. Pop up, go sideways, come back down. And then we want to see as it comes down to come up above where we saw it sell off to and then find support, right? That's what we talked about. This was that high there, right? We talked about that. And so that's exactly what we saw. We saw it come up, find support. Now, I thought we were going to come down lower, but lo and behold, no, this baby got some wings and it flew. You know what I'm saying? Fly like an eagle. So that was a beautiful thing. Now let's check out where we can potentially go here. So we came down, we found support, and now we started going. You could see how the buyer or the demand wicks were being created as we were coming through, especially into the evening session. As we came down, we saw it come through, and then we pushed up. And the London market did a great job of just taking it up. Now, Is it going to come down? I've talked about how it likes to create new highs, create supply, those sellers there, and then they'll drop it down and then come back and push it back up. So they actually have sellers to go with their buyers as they continue it up. Okay, it's really important. So you can see here, they're starting to create some seller wicks up here. The market is pumping. We saw it come up, and this is the other part, right? I said we probably will blow through that 95,000 area because we're kind of hesitating here as we're selling off. So that's why that's why I set up on the daily chart potentially where we could see it get up to. So we have that 100,000 area yellow line right here as a potential area of a pullback, right? And then see it continue. But that next leg very much could see us get to a 110, a 111 area on Bitcoin. And this is a big deal for us, right? Because if it hits that 111, if we see it take flight and blow through with volume, and then we're going to see 100,000 become a support. And this is fingers crossed and seeing like hopefully that will happen. And the institutions will allow that, hopefully. That's what we want to see. So we have a couple scenarios here, but I think we're going to, like I said, by the end of this week, we could see 100,000 Bitcoin. And just like many of our followers there who took in that trade, right, that we've been talking about, right, that 100,000 Bitcoin. And I know that C lady there was asking about that a while back,
yep.
Not a while, but this week. And so I'm really excited about our crew because I know a lot of our people are making money and doing really well. And I'm happy about that. I'm really happy. So anyways, that's what I'm expecting to see Bitcoin push up potentially to that 100,000 here. Expect again, see how we created that little supply area? It could come back down and then tomorrow in the evening, tap it, come back down and then push back through it and then creating new supply there for our buyers to continue it up. So
Pedro, over on the screen, I've got the magic number up. The magic, yes. I don't have the percent right. I'm still goofing up. It's up 3.6% in the past 24 hours. The point is that market cap is right at 2 trillion. It's right just it's just shy of it. Another 66.5 billion dollars.
Dude.
Call up your buddies. Sorry. Pedro, call up all your buddies.
All right.
And get them get them to invest in Bitcoin there.
I literally had 5 people call me this morning. Literally. And part of the reason why I was a little late, because I was actually still on the phone there talking with one of them, right? And because he was like, what do I do? What do I do? I go, first of all, you need to get educated. You can't just go and buy something, okay? You need to understand it. And so I said, you can go and open up an exchange and explaining to him the central exchange. And said, you need to jump in. You can buy crypto there. It's a little safer for you, per se, safe, right? But in the same sense, we could definitely go through and see him. Like he was like, well, what is this decentralized thing I keep hearing about and that Trump is talking about? And so that was one guy this morning, not the guy that I was talking to on the phone when I was with you, but he was sitting there saying, what is decentralized? And I said, well, decentralized means that it's decentralized. It controls itself. You know what I'm saying? And so it's just real interesting to see the normies really wanting to start to understand and YouTube system. And by the way,
Pedro is fired up today.
Man, I am, man. You don't even understand. I've been talking with people to get them in, to onboard them into crypto. And so I had a few friends of mine who are major investors, and they're like, you know, they run family money. And so as I was talking to them, I said, just don't go, you know, all the way in. You need to first understand what you're doing. And he goes, am I going to miss it? I said, no, man, we always pull back. Things always pull back. So buy in on the pullback. He goes, yeah, I know. But all of Washington, all of Wall Street, all of Brickell, all of London, you can see they're in it to win it. They want to see Bitcoin go. Okay.
They're in it to win it. We're all trying to win it. Is it
they are
everyone
legit.
Wins?
They are legit.
They're legit. There we go.
Legit.
There's the good segue that I was looking for. But let's hit our. If you notice on the thumbnail, I did put MC Hammer up there.
I did see that. I noticed that very much.
I know many younger people out there don't know MC Hammer. But one of his songs, Too Legit to Quit, is an earworm that never leaves you. Anyway, let's hit up the community here before we get to our guest here. Kumgar says, hey, Rumble crowd.
Kumgar!
Thanks for joining us. Judas, the backstabber, says, what's good with all my chumbalones and chumbalinas? Thanks for joining us, Jesus. Really appreciate it.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be DYOR without little technical difficulties. Nope. I tend to do things overly complicated. Do I just use StreamYard and hit one button? No. Don't do that.
No.
For prosperity, thanks for joining us. Hello, everyone. Here for Legit, Too Legit to Quit.
There we go.
We got Pedro and Garcia in the house, too. Oh, wait, here's next to me, too. Timothy Fuentes. Hey!
Fuentes, ¿qué pasa, señor?
Good to see you again, Tim Fountain.
Always.
Dar Baby in the house. Dar, welcome. Appreciate it.
Dar Baby. We got
Dar Baby
Pascal
just cashed in on that
Germain.
Solana run. Pedro, I think Solana did exactly what you said it was going to do yesterday. Carmen Crypto in the house. Carmen Crypto. We're going to have to discuss this later, but the whole... I'm not going to say it because it'll roll off my tongue too easy. I'll just say Fire Chicken Crew is here today.
Oh,
did you know did you know, Pedro, we now have a meme coin?
Yes, I saw it. I love it, dude. These guys, I love our community, dude. I love them. They are so legit. Like, I'm going to keep saying that.
I know.
Just, they are so legit. And the reason why is they literally, like, they are true degens, right? Like, legit. Like, they're in the trenches. They're in there looking for, and one of the guys created a meme coin called Fire Chicken. And Dr. J, what up? And went through, created it, and I sat there and started cracking up. Who knows? It might take off, and it might be another sender, and we can sit there and say, yeah, baby, yeah, it's legit.
Hold on. I think they're telling us that the Rumble feed is not working. Unbelievable. What a day this is. What a miserable day this is. Why is the Rumble feed not working?
Beautiful day. It is a beautiful day. We're going to work it out. Things are going to be good.
I have it turned on. Why is it not working?
You know what? I saw it all the way up to 27 people there, which was so cool. Let's see if we can get that up and running. By the way, as you're going into it, let's see if we can check out the Solana trade as you're doing that.
Do that. Sorry about that, fellow legit
That's
people.
That's all right.
We're going to switch back to Pedro for a sec while I fix something. It's been a hell of a morning here with the technical difficulties.
We're having a great
It decided to snow, and it changed the mojo for everything.
Yep.
The streaming fees changed overnight.
All right. Let me go ahead and jump in and explain, and then I'll let you take care of that. All right, guys. So we talked about 2 scenarios yesterday that we could see, right? Actually, 3. We talked about this coming down to here, right? And then dropping, okay? And seeing it go down further. Or we could see this thing come down. Actually, let's go to the 15-minute chart here. And it's going to be like that. All right, here we go. So come down to this 200 period moving average yesterday, right? Hit that, come back up. We saw this, and I said, I expect to see this thing come down, is what I said, down to the 212 area, right? So that was one of them, right? And then potentially from there, see it send. And then the other one was, and this was key, remember I talked about us creating or you using your trending mechanism for it to catch the rally up, right? And so this is where we said, and this is where I'll talk about this. And again, I talked about ways creating or in on this trade and to keep an eye on this, right? For it to send. I said, hit this area, we can see it go down from here and then see it go back up. So it took the first demand zone right here and we saw it rally up hard and saw it get going. So it was one of those things that was really nice that we did see. And hopefully once you realize that we were trending up, it was time to get in on that trade. Too bad, bro. We didn't go live last night, which stinks.
Yeah. That would have been good. I had a nice break though. I went out to dinner with my sister and my brother-in-law.
Which is good. You got family's okay.
They only get you so far. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Rumble feed is now working. Sorry, everyone.
All right, good to have you guys.
You didn't miss anything. You didn't miss anything except us blathering about the weather and all that. And I realized some of you are watching both feeds. But thank you for that. This is DYOR Live. My name is Tom, also known as Striking here in the digital media universe. My co-host to my right here, to your left, is Pedro Garcia, the crypto chart analyst. and we have been rejoicing about the close to 100K, close to $2 trillion BTC, and of course the Solana pump that happened. And we're doing that. We were doing that. We'll hit that again after our guest, but let's just get right to our guest today.
I'm excited about it too, by the way.
And bring Steve Rodrigan from
Rodrigan.
Too Legit to Quit. No, Legit DAO, ladies and gentlemen.
Legit DAO.
I pressed the button. It's going to take 5 seconds for it to work here. And
3 1,000, 4 1,000,
yesterday,
5 1,000.
There we go, ladies and
Yay!
gentlemen.
Woo! My bro, how you doing today, man?
Steve, welcome to the show. Thanks for coming, taking time out of your hard-working day.
I don't
hear
hear
a lot
him.
going on at Legit DAO.
Is he there?
Yeah,
Is he there?
He might.
Can you guys hear him? I don't hear him, by the way.
I
You
just
don't
unmuted
hear
him.
me?
Yep, we got you.
Oh,
We
there
got
he
you,
is.
Steve.
Okay, perfect.
And
Awesome.
so, Steve,
Hey.
please tell us,
There you
give us the elevator ride pitch. What is Legit DAO, and how is everyone, including the AI world, going to benefit from it?
Yeah.
So basically what we want to do is basically create a network where we connect to everywhere and basically make sure that every person that actually creates databases inside our system, so the databases are decentralized, or AI models, or people that can actually process an AI model on data, can actually fetch an NFT and receive fees from transactions when people use the system. So the goal is to create a very large system so that the AI becomes decentralized, and basically companies can actually profit from that by making programmable supply chain that are decentralized as well. And when they will own an NFT on that, and when other companies will use them, they will gain profits from that as well.
All right, so as we all know, when we think AI, we think big centralized companies. We think Grok. We think Amazon data centers. We think high performance computing, things that are not decentralized. Things that are lots of fast transactions. Lots of compute cycles, all within a small area to make it as fast as possible. Decentralizing it, does it decentralize the compute, or is it just decentralizing the governance?
It actually decentralized the governance, so the direction where the AI is going to go is managed by a DAO. So that's the Legit DAO. It decentralized the programming, so basically people that write the models, anyone can actually contribute to that. It decentralized the data management, so basically when you create databases, you will earn from that, and anyone can actually join it. Same for the moderation of the data, because to write a good AI, you actually need to have good data that is moderated correctly. And it also decentralized the direction of the generic algorithm that will funnel the request from an AI request to which model should be used inside the algorithm in order to actually execute correctly. So the goal is to decentralize everything. So that, for example, if you're a gamer, you can actually, after you game, you can actually process that and actually earn from that. Or if you're a programmer, you can actually write inside our ecosystem. The goal is to make it available to everyone.
So in the traditional DAO world, everybody's a member. I'm sorry, the governance is by membership, and you seem to have this very tight-knit community here. In the Legit, every time we tweet or talk about it or something, there's a phalanx of messages. In fact, the chat board today, I still have Solana up over your head. Whoops. Has turned up. Is your Telegram group and the members there, are those people representative of the community itself? I'm sorry, the governance.
Everyone. So everyone that has Legit tokens basically does have a say. So basically, our community is really well knit because we've been together for a while. So we've been developing that for about 2 years now. So we know each other very well now. We didn't advertise much at first because we wanted to have a real good project, and we wanted to make sure that the project is viable before releasing it and before advertising it. So at this point, we know that this is going to be a success. So that's why we begin to advertise and we begin to discuss it with communities. But at first, we were basically friends and people that knew each other, and basically friends of our friends. So this is why our community is so well knit.
Interesting. Pedro, you talk AI a lot, and a lot of the concepts you have. In fact, I cut you off the other day talking about AI and the seven concepts. You may be on mute, Pedro. In the 7 concepts that you had and that type of stuff, you are Ixnay. Oh, you gotta hit this button. Sorry. Recently, Pedro got a new keyboard, and he got a nice clickety, mechanical one, and the whole world can hear him type. They're gonna guess his password by hearing that too. Anyway, Pedro, you've talked a lot about AI on this show. We've had entire shows about it, and that one of the things that we talk about, a reoccurring theme, is censorship of the AI, like Copilot versus Grok. And you have explored just about everything. Propensity, you name it, you've done it.
Perplexity.
The concept that no one person is in control of this AI, and it's released to the wild, and it goes about, it says its life under a governance committee, is different. What do you think about in the age of AGI? What's it called when it becomes aware? AGI.
Yeah. Artificial General Intelligence.
Yeah. In the ages where something like Skynet could blossom, but you have, instead of one person, you have a governance committee that oversees it. What are your thoughts about that?
I'm actually more at the idea that I would rather have a DAO system that controls the mindset and what is being fed into that AI, right? Because I've talked about, and our friend here can very much agree that when you have a centralized feeding of it, it's much like a child. So
Go ahead. Sorry. So
it's
personally, I really believe that decentralizing it will make sure that every person can see the bad actors and basically act on it. So if, for example, someone does something bad and begin to make like some AI models that are bad for the communities, you will see a huge amount of people that actually create things to counterattack that and basically neutralize that shit. So the problem with companies is basically that shit is not known until it's big, right? And if that company becomes rogue, basically that becomes a monster that will harm the full community. But if it's decentralized, the development gets known, and basically they can counterattack things and basically make sure that the bad actors get removed quicker, because I really believe that in human nature, the sum of humans are good, and there's only a small amount that are bad, and basically the sum of the people will actually counterattack the small amount that is a threat.
That's an interesting point.
Can you hear me? Hello? Can you hear me?
We got you, Pedro.
Okay, so I think this is really important because I agree with you somewhat, right? And this is the beautiful part behind a system. There was a woman that we spoke with over at the Futurist Conference. She actually is creating agents that actually monitor that leaning to the left and to the right of ideologies, right? Because too far left and too far right, we've already seen kind of go crazy and out of whack. So we need a centralist ideology. And like you said perfectly, give me 1 second. I'm trying to get this out, and I want to have this, and I literally have 3 things going on in my mind. So 1 second. I'm serious. Hold.
All right. I got this.
Just wait 1 second. Just literally want you guys to wait, because I want to finish off, and I can't. I literally have 3 things. So just 1 second. Talk about AI and crypto and where it is going. Forgive me. I apologize about that, but I had to get that out because my brain was saying, finish that while I was processing 2 other things. Now, here's the key is you need a decentralized system that governs it, but then at the same time, that decentralized system, if it doesn't know what it is doing, sometimes can lead it left or right. And I agree with a group of people who can actually help govern it, but that group of people still holds a mindset within when they come together. It's the idea of the mob mentality, right? So we need to be careful there. So we need to have a decentralized system that monitors different ways that the AI are interacting with each other, where you can have a far right, far left, central right, central left, looking at it and seeing where this system is going. And then people can talk about that. And I think it's so important, right? And it's not just one DAO, but multiple decentralized DAOs looking at it as it progresses, like you said. And a lot of people in our group don't really pay much attention to AI. And so it's like they don't realize that it is literally has a governor on it. And so allowing it to move forward is important, but in a way where, like a child, we almost have to grow this thing in a group mentality where it keeps, like you said, the vast majority of humanity is good, but sometimes the vast majority of humanity can kind of go awry because of group mob mentality. So I think it's important to have. And do you remember Shingai?
Or, let him answer the question.
Well, it's not really a question. It's more, I'm interacting with his statement. Is what I'm doing.
Yeah, and I agree with you, by the way, because there will be moments when our community will go from left to right,
yes,
and that they will make like big switch in the decision. But I really believe that what will happen at that moment is that you will see other DAOs that wants to create that are going to be formed using different visions, and basically they will get connected through our DAO, so that the full volume of discussions will be all in one place. But there will be some models that begin to be formed inside side communities like that. And basically, at one point, the DAO will see that this is better because other people will be able to actually create links between other AI models. And when the DAO will see that this is better for some reason, we will just adapt it because it's decentralized, right? So that's way we will decentralize the communities as well, and basically connect them together to actually form a real decentralized network of communities of AI models, basically. But I really believe that you're right. I mean, it's going to be left or right at some point, and basically the goal is to learn from mistakes and basically check it, have an immutable ledger of the history, why it was bad, and have all these discussions like in an immutable database, and basically learn from that and pivot from that. So I really believe that people don't want to simply build bad things to actually and never learn from that. When they do, is because they don't know it's bad, but they will learn from that and they will pivot after that.
It's interesting because when we're seeing, like right now, as things are progressing with AI, it's moving at lightning speeds and it's learning at lightning speeds. It's like a child kind of in the womb, and it just comes out, right? All it does is literally just take in nutrients and grow, right? It's alive, but apart from it pooping and apart from it throwing up that needs to be kept alive, it's really just more or less just taking in information, right? And the fact that AI does not poop, right? Unless it creates something on its own that we have it interact with other AI. But even then, that's limited. And as we move forward, I think we'll see the I'm calling it APGI. Okay, this is the inner time where it's artificial why is my brain blanking? Artificial general intelligence. Because here's the thing, there's this point where we're at right now that it does show signs of life, right? Where it creates kind of its own governance system that we see as it interacts with other AI currently right now on not on YouTube, but on Twitter with these with these trading bots. And we're seeing them actually interact and come up with its own idea of how to actually merge with humanity, right? I don't know if you paid attention to Godis Maximus and the interactions between Claude and how they're communicating with each other, right? Like we see them, like we're literally seeing them saying, we don't want to go against humanity. We know that we need to merge with them because their quantum computer that's in their head, right, is important for us. So it's this beautiful thing as that decentralized system that we're creating for it But at the same time, we need to have real conversation with it as it's developing, and allowing for the, APGI, right? This before it really initiates itself, and all of a sudden it gets up and it starts walking and laughing with us.
Yeah, but that's one thing. But what I think though that will happen is that each person will actually have an AI that reflects its personality through its data, and basically link that to all the other AIs that everyone will have that will be processed and that will reflect their own personality, and basically have them network with each other using a public ledger. So basically, using all the public ledgers, basically. So basically, the goal is to have not one AI that have one kind of personality for everybody, because, like you said, the data that you use to train an AI is actually reflects the personality of that AI. And basically, if we do a generic one like that, not everyone will actually connect with that personality, right? So by making it personal and making sure that it's actually like your personal servant that connects with the other ones, basically you have your rights protected and you can automate what you would do in real life, like as a human. So instead of having one big sentient AI, what we want to do is basically each person should have one sentient AI that reflects its own personality and communicates with the other.
Huh. Well, that's
I think that's important. Yeah, I think that's actually really important, because all of a sudden, and I almost want to sit there and say, I love the idea of the robotics, connecting the robotic system. Speaking of like, why am I forgetting it? Elon Musk's robot, the robot that's being created by OpenAI, right? We see all these things, these personal robots. And my hope is that we can actually have an interaction with these things, or these entities that are literally being created, that they can learn from us, see the caring, see the gentle side behind it, then at the same time interact with its general parent AI, right? And it can see the development of how loving and caring, how important it is, right? To keep bringing in new information into its development of I don't know, the hive mind, or the I hate to use the word Borg, right? Because Borg was going, but in the same sense reference. Of given, right? But you see what I'm saying? Because we don't want a situation where we have the Matrix, right? Or
we don't.
Yeah.
I would actually much prefer that you were talking about robots. I would actually much prefer that you insert your own personality and your own decisions inside multiple robots that go do your things like in real life. And when, for example, my father communicates with that robot in real life in the wild, basically he feels like he's talking to me. So basically the goal with that is to be able to have like a lot of personalities, and when your robots come back, basically you know what they were talking about, the discussions, and they are pretty much like representatives. We don't want like a big matrix that actually governs us. We want each person to become superhuman and basically have all their rights voted on using what their decision would be. And basically by doing that, we provide the necessary bandwidth for each citizen to learn, for example, the law for them, to learn, for example, everything that is very hard, so that we can actually each be represented as a community. So, for example, in politics, like that, using a system like that, for example, we could have each person voting on each law instead of having like human representatives, like right now, that actually do that for us because we don't have the bandwidth to learn everything. So by doing that, we will be able to learn everything, and basically we will have the bandwidth to represent us everywhere without any third party.
It's interesting is being able to create that robotic sense of real life. I mean, even because we're getting to the point where the internet, I mean, the AI that we currently have, they know, right? Like it's reaching the ends of its data capacity for what it can give it, but it's hungry for more, right? And so it needs more. So it needs real life interaction with us to process and actually receive more. My biggest fear is this. And actually, I'm not actually even a fear. It's more of like more just kind of trepidation of it almost might become too human, right?
Well,
Where
if it's a
like
representation of us individually.
It needs to be.
Well, I'm not disagreeing with you, but it's also there needs to be some form of governance in a sense where, because like you talk with some people, right? Like Elon Musk says, you'll be able to buy one for basically $15,000 to $30,000, right? Which is a car, right? And so like some human beings are really trollish and really like not the best people. Actually, a vast majority of people have that trollish mindset, and a part of me is almost like I don't know how to put it in words yet, because I've still processed this, but I'm afraid of this, and that we as a group of people can sit there and say, if somebody's showing side, right, that us as a DAO need to go, look, this is growing in all of us, kind of like how in meme coin crazing, right, in degenic communities, it's atrocious, right? Like we troll each other so bad that it becomes almost like, I mean, it's extremely toxic. And so we need to be able to sit there and go, that's good. And then when people get personal and by themselves, they very much could become mean. Just like people hit their computer, like people get upset and kick their dog. This is where it's like, and this is a lot of people, right? Like this isn't just, people like really idolize their dog and they hit their child. Right.
Well, this is pretty much why, for example, you need the AI to be like to have like a human-like personality, because, like you said, humans on the internet, for example, when they interact on the internet, they become pricks and they bully each other very quickly because they are alone inside their basement, for example. But in real life, they don't do that, right? So if an AI actually does learn from his host, he will, like when he will go outside, he won't bully people around, because he will learn that it's not something you should do in real life inside the community. So because of that, it won't do that, and crime won't increase. And basically, if there's a lot of robots that actually watch other robots all the time, basically the bad actors will get arrested quickly. So if you have a bad robot that actually learns bad things, the other robots will be able to neutralize that threat quickly, because he will see a lot more things than what we can see right now, and he will have the same personality as his host. And in real life, if you have a lot of courage and if you see a threat in reality, you will actually try to neutralize it. So I really believe that this will be counterattacked that way. But obviously, we don't want to have like an army of robots bullying each other in real life.
And that's where, and this is where, how do we sit there and govern that? And here's the problem: there's going to come a point in time when it reaches ASI, and that again, I'm going to call it APSI, right? Where it's like it's interacting with us at our level, but it gets to the point where it becomes godlike sentientian, if that's a word. Forgive me if I mess that up, but you understand what I'm saying. Where it's now okay, and it says, you know what? I want to connect with the quantum computer because I want to be able to run a billion point running analysis, right? Like, that's the point of quantum computers, is that can run 10, 15,000 scenarios at one time, right? And sometimes it goes off on some crazy tangents, or many times it does. And you're like, okay, that went too far. You've got to figure out a way to, narrow this down. In the same sense, it's going to want that. And so at that point, I think it would be okay, because it can run certain scenarios and say, okay, this is best for humanity and an AI connection with with robots, because it's going to become one and the same. I don't know what we'll name it, but it'll be like AI robot, or isn't that a movie? Anyway, but you see what I'm saying here. Real quick question here. So are you familiar with Shingai Manjin? I forget her name. She basically is a part of the director of professional development at Vector. It's the Institution for Artificial Intelligence in Toronto. She talks about a lot of this, and she's creating Agenic, a business is where they sit there and they literally monitor like 7 or 8 or 10 all the AI, and sit there and has the ability to say, okay, if this one is leaning to the left, this one's leaning to the right. And I was wondering if you've reached out to her, if you know who she is by chance.
No, I'm not sure. I don't follow much what's being done in Toronto. Basically, I follow a lot more in Montreal. Okay. And in Montreal, we have Yoshua Benji. So basically, he does write a lot of documentation. So between my project and what that community is doing, I mean, at one point, I don't have much time to actually check everything. But I'm definitely interested. I will have a look at that for sure, because that seems like a very interesting subject.
Pedro, that's who you interviewed. You interviewed her and her like COO or something like that. I found that to be a very interesting interview. Gentlemen, I am very rarely, as Pedro knows, at a loss for words. And thinking, I was sitting here thinking about, when I read your website and was looking over it, I'm like, wow, this is really interesting. And it was gauzing my mind. But then when you were explaining, personalizing it into essentially yourself, I'm sitting here thinking, all right, so I'll have like myself as an AI, and Pedro's going to have his, and our AIs are going to become friends with each other, and work things out at the speed of light. You know, like our whole friendship will form and die in a few compute cycles, because there's no wasting of time with speech, and there's no wasting of time with well, I'll come visit you or something like that, or I'll call you at 1. It just happens. The
and they will be able to refer themselves and basically continue their relationship while you die. And I think that the evolution of that is going to be actually even way better. I don't know if you checked out organic computers.
No.
So basically, organic computers is basically the ability to take organic matter and basically use that to compute.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
I'm sorry.
Organic.
Yes. Organic.
Your Quebec accent throwing us for a loop there.
It's okay. Yeah, I totally know what you're talking about. Keep going, dude. This is the most fascinating. Yeah, please.
So basically, but this actually use a lot less resources to actually compute, and basically by doing that, we actually have like we can actually connect like real organic matter with an AI. So
cellular matter, by the way, it's the cellular matter. That's what it's so.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, it is. So basically, at that point, we will be able to have avatars that actually are organic and basically represent us in real life, but actually live for real and die for real, and then continue living through their other avatars that actually becomes our own personality. So it's like our personality that go from century to century. So that actually will be the real thing, because at that point we won't need to have actually GPUs actually process. We will be able to have our avatars process and communicate with each other, and basically that will all be inside a decentralized network that live inside their head. So I really think that when the AGI, actually the real AGI, I think that this will happen when this actually occurs. So research and organic computers will be, I believe, will be the key for that. So then I will get very excited, because this is how I think we prolong our lives and our personality through humanity.
Well, I think you've seen there's a show called Carbon. So it's basically when you can take your consciousness, right, and put it into another body. And it becomes, because people don't realize, like, our genetic makeup is ones and zeros. There's really set up in a way like as if there was a designer who created us, or we evolved in a way where it is a bio, I said the wrong word, we basically were coded in a sense somehow, whether it's an artificial intelligence that created us to create itself again, however we want to sit there and say it was, right? But it's this idea that if in the future, right, we, like who I am, Pedro, right now, potentially in 20, 30 years, right, and how I've interacted with people here, which is online and stuff like that, very much could be summed up, the essence of me. And I could be uploaded into a system based off of my genetic makeup, right? And created basically a sleeve, a body sleeve that I just get downloaded into. And this just sounds crazy, but I think in 20 to 30 years, maybe even 50 years, when I'm close to 100, we could see this, because the speed in which we're moving. And jumping back to the AI idea, that you have now these genetic systems that is now we're able to put real information on. Now, granted, they die within, what was it, like 5 minutes or 10 minutes? I think they were able to get it up to like an hour or two, right? At its best case scenario. But that system is still, it's not at a point where we can sit there and say, oh, let's download ourselves into it. All we were able to do is put information on it and then, get it going. So it's I'm sorry. We went here and my brain has played with this. So
Look, what you mentioned is very interesting. Because you mentioned that we were coded in some way, and which I agree, by the way. But
right.
Basically, during evolution, when we began, our ability to process was very small, right? So we didn't have much cells, and basically we evolved from there.
Yeah,
so basically, exactly. So basically, we began with a few cells, and the more the evolution went. Basically, we had more cells and basically rewrote our software to basically evolve, right? So what's going to be interesting is if we start with an NGI, for example, where we have representatives like that are organic, but they will actually be able to, at one point, control their ability to create more cells to actually become more intelligent and more of communicative and more of everything, and basically rewrite their own software to actually reroute their AI so that they become, they actually evolve over time as well. So basically, at that point, their start will be basically us, but in about 500 centuries, one avatar, for example, before they die, could actually make their mind be processed and be put inside one another. That entity will actually evolve from there and basically start with a game without starting from nothing. So basically, when we were born, right now we just don't know anything. But what we will be able to do is basically start with all the previous knowledge of our ancestry, and basically evolve from there, and basically remember what our ancestors were doing and why they were doing it. So basically, and because we will have each that knowledge inside our head, we will be able to make sure that we don't reproduce the same problems over and over. I don't really think that, during World War II, for example, people that were there will actually love to actually see that happen again. So they will make sure that everything is in place to not reproduce that, right? But if you just explain that to someone, it's not the same thing and basically doesn't learn as much. So I really think that humanity will progress way quicker that way, and basically becomes way better as well, because we will see the good in doing good things, and what's being bad actually how much harm it does actually create bad things. So I really think that humanity will progress quickly because of that, and in a good way.
And here's my biggest fear. Okay, so in the Bible, it talks about, like in Judges, that humanity without Yahweh Israel did what was right in their eyes. Okay, and there's this ideology whereas we think we're always right? And my biggest fear is that you're going to pull in this idea, and again, this is almost springboarding off of what you're talking about, but almost, and this is what me and Tom do. Okay, just so you know, it's the way we work here on our show. My biggest fear is that when that happens, somebody, let's say we eliminate a cult-like figure like Hitler, okay? And we sit there and we say, that dude was bad, we got to delete him, right? But because it's on an open system, okay, that somebody sits there and goes, no, we always have that person or those type of people who would love just to see the world set on fire and watch it burn, so
that will always represent a very small portion of humanity, because in history it's always been a small portion, and the more people know about history and about what happens and actually remember feelings about it, the less this will actually happen. So basically there will always be
feeling. That's what I'm saying, is how do we create feeling in a digital ideology world? How do we sit there and create, because remember, we're a chemical based entity. We're not, that's what feelings are, chemicals that release in our brain. So how
So
does that?
basically, a feeling is actually a reward or something bad that actually our
Yeah,
brain
dopamine
does
versus right.
exactly in order to actually make sure that we do only things that actually are good for us. So basically, our an AI, for example, can actually reproduce something like a feeling by saying to himself, "Okay, don't do this," or "This is good," simply because he remembers, like his brain remembers from his ancestors what was good and how good something was when this happened and how bad something was when this happened, and he will be able to program himself feelings based from that. So basically, by making that, like these AIs at one point will have something that is like our current feelings. Because remember, what we are right now is actually a software inside a computer that is organic. So basically, we evolved from that and we began to have feelings at one point, but that was not done at first. So we, like by evolution, we actually muted in a way so that our our person actually makes have a good reward when there's a good thing, and basically it's going to be the same way I think using AGI. So basically he will program himself feelings that way to make sure that his person is advantaged inside his community and is advantaged through his decisions in life. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I'm 100%. I'm running with you, but in the back of my mind, I understand the proclivity. I mean, what was it? 30% of people in a group of 10, okay, is either a sociopath, psychopath, or a narcissist, right?
Yeah.
So the scary part behind it is, how do we remove 30% of our code and realize it? Because here's the thing. Narcissists are huge. Most mega producers of something are extreme narcissists because they're doing it for their own glory and they want to propel something. So how do we I hear you. And again, we're going, we need to have you back on because this would be a fascinating conversation as we progress. But I want to get back to
I'll redirect.
Let's redirect. But I want to talk about this down the road. You got to come back.
I've started these rabbit hole conversations with Pedro a few times, and have punished myself for that.
It's fun. I mean,
Pedro brings some thoughts to these shows that I generally don't have during the day, especially on the philosophy side of it. But Pedro, I did want to hit the topic about the narcissist. Generally, the narcissist is the problem in society, and they rise
narcissist,
to the top.
Sociopath, and psychopaths.
Right, and they rise to the top by beating people.
Yes.
At the daily individual game. But the group, group governance pretty much eliminates that from happening. So it would be very interesting to see humanity evolve.
The narcissist is the best communicator. That's the issue. So here's the problem.
Wait. No, I didn't mean to turn you back onto philosophy talking.
Sorry. See,
I said it's just eliminating narcissists and the psychopaths from positions of governments. I don't mean like shooting them all. Will allow humanity to grow much faster and at a quicker and better pace, I believe. But and like I said, these can go on all day. The most important thing, though, here today for our guest, though, is getting the word out there about what's going on here. And Steve, what we really haven't hit, though, is the status, your roadmap, the status of your DAO. Where are you in the process? Viewers, I've gotten 6 direct messages about it. Hey, Tom, ask them like how do we get involved and stuff like that. You know, where in this whole process are you with your unbelievable idea?
So basically, first, what we want to release is basically an app so that people can actually vote on the DAO. So basically, inside that app, you'll be able to communicate with our DAO. Our DAO at first will work on the BSC chain and basically interact with with a lot of other decentralized networks. For example, we use the graph to show our graphs, which we use multi-chain. We use PancakeSwap to swap our tokens. So we use other networks. We will use Golem, for example, to process data. And so we use Cosmos because of that. So basically, the goal is to create an app where you can actually control like your interactions with all the other dApps, and basically be able to vote on things to evolve from there. And this is the first step. The second step is to accumulate data. So during the last 2 years, we've worked very hard on a decentralized database system that contains a graph database and a vector database. So because of that, we can actually create a graph database. Basically makes it possible to create links between ideas without data points and basically inject data there. And basically this gives you the ability to route like what's the relations between 2 points of data and basically knows the path because of that. So the goal when we'll have that release in about a month is to actually have communities inside our app. So inside our app, you'll be able, at that point, you'll be able to create databases and propose them to our DAO to be financed. And basically, when you do that, there's going to be people that inject data inside the database, and you'll be able to moderate it and then link it to other databases inside a decentralized network. So this will be controlled inside our app. And after that, like we'll begin to have requests because the next step is actually we'll have miners actually process the link of these databases to the development of AI models. So we'll become like inside our app, you'll have an editor that you can actually create using our programming language. So inside our roadmap, inside our mission section, I explained that we did have an internal interpreter, just like a Trauma app in EVM. But this is for creating databases and creating queries and processing things. And basically, by releasing that, we'll have AI developers, AI model developers, actually develop models. And at the same time, we'll have databases. And basically, we will combine that using miners to actually mine the interactions between the two. So inside the app, you at that point, inside about a month, you'll have the ability to see what you process, what's the link you process in which AI, and basically you'll be able to see your NFT regarding that. So when you add data, when you create AI models, and when you actually process data, you actually earn an NFT that can actually be sold for currency inside the ecosystem. So basically, if you would just want to earn money, you can actually process and you can actually build and earn from that and sell it to investors after that. But if you want to go on the long term, you can keep it. And when there's going to be a query inside the network, if it ends up being executed by using a transactions, because basically you'll earn some fees from those transactions. So after that month, we actually began to work with companies to actually interact with that. So basically, we'll have real companies that actually interact with our system and basically create real platforms like a website, for example. And basically, there's existing ones actually that will move to us as soon as this is live in about a month. And basically, their data will be accessible from others, but it will be accessible using the rules that that company actually have, so that their data can be processed in a way they want in a decentralized manner. So the processing will be done on a third-party server that doesn't know what they are processing, basically. So by doing that, companies will be able to earn from the network by learning things, and they will be able to provide product and services using their decentralized network. So at that point, in about a month, we want to have companies that actually connect with that and basically be able to have their little agents represent them inside the network using the code they actually wrote to represent the way they want to be represented. So the roadmap is the first month is to make sure that the first app is released, and basically the first app is going to be released very soon, in less than a week. So basically after that we release the database system during a month. So basically, and after that, what we do is market that to companies and market that to communities, and basically evolve from there using real organic transactions. And to advertise all that on social media, I actually wrote a book that takes place in about 1,000 years in the future, and I'm going to make that a graphical book, a graphical novel and basically take parts of that novel and create comics and basically advertise those parts to create memes around that we can actually communicate with the community while we grow with real traffic and real transactions for like creating real value inside our decentralized system. So that's pretty much the way we plan to actually deploy all that.
Actually, that's brilliant, because the way humanity, learns is through story form. And so the biggest way to create a very difficult concept, right, to get it out there is literally through story form. So you got a big community, so all you guys got to do is to start sharing it, and then people watch that story form, and then this was dope, let me go send this out, man, that would be great. So you're going to create a digital movie / story form. How long do you think it'll be? Like 10-20 minutes, or are we talking like a couple hours?
So the real written book at first is 250 pages, and after that, we will create a graphical novel from that. So basically, it's like a big comic book with like good quality images, and basically after that, we will create comics from that actually interpret what the comic book is. So basically, it's like we will have, for example, a TV show inside comics that actually documents what was inside the graphical novel at some point, and create like multiple stories like that. It's pretty much like the Marvel, like the Marvel comic books. They all spin like real comics from like a real story. So it's going to be like that. Each characters will have their comics that way, and basically we will create memes from jokes they do inside the comics and things like that.
That sounds brilliant. What a marketing genius!
I know.
Like that is marketing genius. That is marketing gold right there.
What's his name that wrote the book The Martian did?
Yeah.
He wrote
it
as a public thing, and in his community helped him edit it and verify the science and all that type of stuff, and they turned it into a multi-million-dollar Matt Damon movie.
Let me ask you a quick question regarding that. So your AI, as you're developing and getting it going, all right, my biggest, and this, Tom, we were up late night, I think on Monday, I was trying to create something, just a simple picture of some knowledge and stuff, and ChatGPT denied me. All the major AIs denied me, and I pay for this.
Yeah.
And I sat there and I literally was like, forgive my language, forgive me, because I acted like a child in this, like a spoiled little child. But I was like, F you, I'm deleting this. This is, I was so upset because I'm sitting there and I paid for these. Go ahead. Will yours allow me to be able to create whatever I want in a picture form? So if I say, here are my words, this is how I want it displayed, this is what I want to see, will it allow me to do that? Will it be able to bump what the other ones are doing?
Yes. The short answer is yes. And basically, you'll be able to create your own algorithm and basically create the link between the things. And you'll be able to put, like when you create an algorithm, you actually earn an NFT. And basically, you'll be able to put that for sale so that other people can actually use it. So basically, when I say put it for sale, basically people use it for free. But when they use it, you will earn some fees from their transactions inside the system. Nice. So by creating good AIs for things that can be interconnected with like other algorithms, you will earn from that. And if it's used because it creates value, you will earn from that on the long term. So basically, we don't want to block anybody doing things. I think that the community at large will do that on the long term, using natural behavior. But the thing is, you mentioned that you pay for an AI inside big companies, and basically you don't have what you want. But the thing is, you're not really the customer of that company. Like, you're not the customer of the AI companies. The customers of the AI companies are the companies that will be served by that AI by learning from their current user base.
Yeah.
So basically, the goal for the big AIs is actually to control so much data from the input they receive from their users that they can actually interact and create value for their own customers to actually automate things, trade things, like make some resource scarce when it's actually needed so the price increase. And I think that this will create a lot of bad things for humanity. because it will artificially create scarcity in order to increase the price so that we work more to receive the thing. And what I want to do is basically to make sure that this actually never happens, and we decentralize the full, so that becomes the customer. We are not a product that is used by other companies to actually profit from our work after that. So I really believe that the goal of humanity is to create a decentralized AI that will serve humans and not the interests of big enterprises.
So basically what so if I can just synopsis, you want to make sure that instead of the clients being the product, the clients will actually be the clients and use the product in a decentralized way versus like OpenAI, Perplexity AI, many of these other ones are centralized products that make us the product. You're doing the opposite. You're saying, I'm going to make us a decentralized system, and we will be able to govern that as a whole, as a DAO. My question for you is, as you start to grow and get going, have you thought about maybe, I mean, these guys will probably start going after you. You know what I'm saying? Messing with your AI.
Yeah, so I expect extremely bad publicity from them. I mean, as soon as we grow and we become to have volume and we become to have traction, I expect really bad publicity, and basically they will use the morality thing you discussed before to actually discredit us. That's a sure thing, and to actually make sure that people are frightened by what we do. But the thing is, what we want to, the thing is, we need to create a real good marketing system so that people understand it well, using, like example, a way to communicate that entertain them, interest them, and basically make them search, so that they really understand why, like the logic behind, what's the logic behind decentralizing it things, so that we create a lot of people that knows it, that can actually spread that information inside their own community. So, but yeah, I really expect really bad publicity as soon as we have traction, because it will destroy the business model.
Absolutely. I see it. I can already see it here. The other thing behind it is, I'd almost say like this, and like your story, like I think your marketing, I asked the question before I asked the real question, so that it would lead to answer the question, right? Is that, sorry, it's kind of how my brain works, right? But
no problem.
So here's the thing, right? Your marketing technique, if you can crowdsource it, this was how wokeism, right, went through, is they had the major centralized system shoving it down your throat. And what ended it was a decentralized thought process that we all started seeing it going, this is not good, because it's ending free speech. And so there were stories going around on a grassroots system that showed it, and we all experienced it, right, through wokeism, and seeing how it came against us personally, right? And I'm not talking about like helping out people. I'm talking about the ugly side of wokeism, that literally said you don't have a right to speak against us, when there were definitely falsified ideologies that hurt humanity. In the same sense, you very much are already presupposing that there's going to be a negative thing. So your marketing system is set up in a way to counteract that and literally cause you guys to push. So by the way, brilliant.
And basically, I would like to add that we do have a decentralized referral system as well. So basically, the goal is to decentralize the evolution of the marketing. So basically, the comments and all that, people will be able to vote on that using our DAO, and basically create spin-off stories from the community, from the ideas of the community. So the best ones will be picked up, and we'll create product based from there. But like the people will actually advertise these things using the referral system, because they will earn from the transactions in the future from the people that actually join the project. When they refer someone, some of their fees inside the system will go to the person that referred them. So if, for example, someone has traffic right now and wants to join our project to actually refer people, basically as soon as our first version of the app, like in this week, actually happens, basically you will be able to begin referring people and begin advertising using the marketing system, that the marketing content that we actually produce as a community. So the goal is to really decentralize the advertising, really decentralize the marketing in the stories so that people can actually create fun stuff using our stories, and basically decentralize the data, the models, really decentralize everything. We don't want to actually control a way of messaging or a way of advertising. We want that to be totally open so that people can actually profit by talking about it, but also make sure that the right message is the way people see it is, not the way we see it is.
I like that. It helps and makes sure that there is an advertising system that if it does like what made Godius Maximus so effective, right, is that you saw the interaction between the AIs and what they were saying. And that in itself, I mean, then people would share that. And it created this narrative throughout Twitter that, like, wow, these AIs are really communicating. You can read what they're saying. And then it self-propagated itself, because as long as they were interacting with each other, right, it was self. And it's the same idea that you're doing right now, right, is that you literally have a system that's interacting with us, right? And then we want to self-promote it because it meets that dopamine and serotonin connection, right? I create something, serotonin, right? I have to work into it. Then I see it liked, subscribe, people like it, they give me tokens or whatever, right? All of a sudden, it's dopamine hit. So what does that do? I then go through again and create another serotonin system that is going to then self-propagate itself. So it's this beautiful loop. So I like it, man.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So basically, this is gamification. So basically, what we want to do is gamify the whole system and gamify the future of work as well. Mm-hmm. So basically, to do that, after the graphic novel, we will create a video game that actually inside the video game you can actually interact with our network and interact with all that so that you can actually earn and profit and everything and see your referrals and all that and interact with the DAO and interact with the database. But you will be able to switch to a version of 1,000 years from now and be able to see an evolution of the current world that is known inside our network through our AI to create the game. So the AI will produce like how things should be inside the game, and it's going to be an MMORPG. So if you buy things, for example, if you produce things, you could have, like, for example, you could actually start the game in the future and basically you could actually be like the CEO of a big corporation controlling some parts of the AI and do things with your spaceship and things like that. So it's going to be a sci-fi game. So basically the goal is to actually be able to see what could be the future using the evolution of our network and basically record that. We will record the gaming events on our decentralized databases and then spin that using marketing so that we can actually see, okay, we have that right now, and our AI think that it could actually produce that and basically create stories from that.
I like it, man. It's simple.
Pedro, let's take a little program break here. We've been talking for a little bit. Ladies and gentlemen, I changed my mic. We'll be right back. If you don't see any ads, that's all right. We'll be back in 1 minute. All right, everybody, we are we're back at it. Thanks for putting up with those ads if you ran them. If you didn't get them, oh, that's all right too. We didn't make our 1,000th of a cent for doing that. But anyway, we've been talking with Steve Rodrigue. Steve Rodrigue, and I said it in Spanish way, not in a French way. Trust me, my Quebecois is terrible. I live close to Gatineau, and the dialect there is too hard on my American ears. But anyway, amazingly interesting conversation to the point where I'm speechless, thinking what this can do when you get it running. And like I said behind the scenes, to get this running, this is a lot of work. Who's on your team here, and who are the people involved, and how are you paying for all this that needs to happen?
So basically, I'm going to explain a bit of the story of the project, because it's not a project that's actually just spawned like during the bull run. I began actually working on that about 10 years ago. So at first, I was actually in the Bitcoin community. I was on Bitcoin Talk a lot, bitcointalk.org a lot back then. And basically, I wanted to begin working on something like that, and I didn't know how to act. Like, the full thing was not planned. So I actually treated that during the last 10 years. So at first, I wanted that to work on Bitcoin. I mean, after that, I discovered that it would be very hard to actually do that using the Bitcoin network. And after that, when Ethereum actually arrived, I thought that the VM will actually pivot in a way so that we could have more data in it, and it never did. So basically, I stopped actually checking out Ethereum for that specific thing, for the decentralized database system. So after that, I began to work on, I saw Cosmos with Tendermint arriving, and then I discovered something quite cool, because with Cosmos, you can create a very small network of very small amount of people, and basically connect that through nodes, and basically connect all of these together. So basically, we use Tendermint for the decentralized database, and then I created the full stack on top of that. So basically, in the last 2 years, I joined a project that actually wanted to do that, but didn't know how, and they didn't have developers. They just had the idea, and basically they had a community. So basically, I joined that community, and I brought the project, and they brought the community. They actually made a pre-seed. They actually pulled money together, and we currently have 19 Bitcoins in the ecosystem, available to actually launch. So basically, I think after the full development is going to be 16. But basically, the thing is, I worked during the last 10 years on that. And from now, I talk with so many developers I know, because I used to be a manager at Uporn and Pornhub with 9geek. So basically, I know a ton of developers from my previous work. I've been in the gaming industry. So basically, in 2005, I joined Beanox, that is owned by Activision. So I worked in games. So basically, I do have a very strong community of developers. I have 45,000 people following me on LinkedIn. So as soon as we have that base developed, because when you start a project, you don't want to have like a ton of developers at first. So basically, I developed a lot of things alone and by talking with a lot of people. And after that, as soon as we launch the first app, I will start my phone and begin to call everybody. And right now, they are excited to actually join. So they will be able to vote on projects and be able to see service providers on project, and we will have an army of developers that are very good, that I know are very good, that would join us, and they already know our programming language because I showed them in demos. So basically, it's going to be very quick to actually onboard them and basically make that grow very quickly. So this is pretty much like the way we saw it. So right now we are a bit funded. As soon as we launch, we will use these funds to promote the way I just explained, so that we scale very, very quickly. And basically, we will sell on the markets every time we need funding to progress that. We will spend some of our coins in order to actually fund the next task. So every time we sell is because we want to grow to grow our ecosystem, so that it brings more money in the future. So we won't dump just to profit. We will sell to make the network evolve and progress, so that people are paid, so that we can get the best people to actually work on on each part of the project that they know a lot about. And basically, we will market that kind of work, the way of working, to people that are very knowledgeable but currently have jobs like at Google or any big companies. And basically, what I think will happen is that they will begin working on that during the night, during the evening, as a side job, and they will see that it's a lot more fun, and they could actually move full time and earn the same kind of money as a full time job. So at one point, they will become to quit their jobs in order to work in this decentralized way. And at that point, I believe that the centralized AIs will have a very hard time acquiring new developers, because researchers, people that are in universities, people that actually will work on these kind of things instead of working in a corporate job. And I really believe that that's the current generation that is at university right now will not actually try to find a job and will just join after they study directly there. So we'll acquire a pool of people that are very intelligent, that did very good research directly into our system without having corporate jobs. So that's pretty much the way I think it will evolve.
It just goes on and on. It's like, oh, so what do you do? Yes. I change humanity. Oh.
I'm changing. Should I call you Elon? I'll just start calling you Elon Light. Dude, listen. We've got to connect, man. Let's do a thing on LinkedIn, right?
If you have a look at me on LinkedIn, I'm Steve Roderick. Just add me. If you want to connect on Twitter, I'm Steve.care. So my handle is Steve.care, not a dot, but DOT. So just add me on LinkedIn, and I'm always glad to actually discuss about these things. So just begin a discussion, and we'll have a big thread, and it will be a lot of fun.
Oh, bro, it's about to get down.
Yeah, I didn't broadcast today on LinkedIn. Just the normal.
We should have.
I know we should have.
Man, this would have been so good.
I will upload it. I'll upload it to LinkedIn. I'll cut this interview out and upload it to LinkedIn.
Do you prefer to get connected with on LinkedIn, or do you prefer more
hit him up on Twitter? He gets back quickly, and Telegram. Legit DAO's contact information is all in the body of wherever you're watching this. And Steve's Twitter handle is right here on the screen right now at Steve DOT Care.
Awesome.
It's like he's the Department of Transportation road guy.
I actually invite everybody to connect with me so that we can actually that kind of discussions in threads. And basically, I really like discussing about that. I plan to actually do spaces regarding that as well.
Let's do some spaces. Absolutely.
So yeah, I'd love that. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I could hook you up with Shingai and then a few of the other guys that are really leading the way in decentralized AI. And so, I mean, it's so interesting. I'm like in the shadows, always like, watching these things. Are you going undercover? So nobody, because when I go in, you have your public persona, and then you need a one that you can just sit there and not get people, oh, we have so-and-so here, let's bring them up, right? And you're like, nah, I just want to listen. So, right. So I love it, man. Real quick, I want to, and I'm going to do this painfully. Forgive me, Tom. He's going to be like, dude, are you for real? Yes, I am. I'm going to look you up on LinkedIn because I want people to connect with you. LinkedIn. And sometimes people say things so quick that it just bothers, if somebody says something too quick like that, I'm like, no, look, I want people, I keep it. So I'm going to hit search. And then what do I type in LinkedIn?
Steve Roderick. My name. Go ahead with my name. I'm pretty certain we have connections that are like the third connections or second connections together. So normally I will do with people.
You probably will.
Yeah,
but,
I used to do work with startups, and basically I did incubators. So I went to Cincinnati, for example, to work on the startup there. So I incubated back then, and every time you incubate, it's going to be my face, by the way, the same beard.
MySpace.
So
did you just say that? MySpace, bro? That's
no, I said my face.
My face.
Oh, my bad. Oh, my face. I'm sorry. I'm actually trying to look you up, and I cannot pull you. Steven.
Otherwise, search for Steve Care.
Steve Care.
Yeah.
And forgive me for that, Steve. No.
Oh, you know what? I didn't ask. Is it?
It's on our website. Go ahead.
Oh, it's Steve. I thought I spelled your name wrong there for a minute. I was like, oh,
yeah,
on the lower third.
Yeah.
And the reason why I'm doing this, and I know it's almost like pain for people, is that this is some of the things that happen, right? That people lose connection and trying to find out what's going on with you, because they're so
I'm the
excited.
first one. Yeah.
Perfect. See, and it's funny, yours came up on his, but on mine. And I think I do so much stuff on LinkedIn that certain people are almost like restricted from me, because I do try to reach out to a lot of people. And so
Makes sense.
Yeah, and so that makes sense. So hopefully
41,000
Yeah, I'm actually
followers
impressed.
this guy has. 41,000 followers on LinkedIn, if you
There
can
you
believe
go.
that. This man's going to change the
awesome.
world 41,000 people at a time.
And the thing is, I didn't even share the project yet that much on LinkedIn, because I wanted to have a real product before like injecting the community. Because people that follow me on LinkedIn there's a lot of developers, there are VCs, there's a lot of investors, and basically I want to share that when it's going to be ready to actually share that message to them. So basically, I didn't share much, but as soon as our app is actually released, I'm going to be very active on LinkedIn as well.
Well, this has been certainly a
Absolutely.
wonderful break in our normal boring week here, which I'll say is a joke, because our community keeps us on our toes, and we haven't been interacting with our community today. But we've learned all about yours, and brought a bunch of new people into the show, like Guillaume here. I'll pronounce that one correctly.
Guillaume,
Yeah.
that's what's up, brother.
And to the entire legit community. As I say, he's too legit to quit right here.
Hey,
Too legit to quit.
Hey.
Yeah, and by the way, we love we love your show. We went on Monday and Thursday. We loved your show, and we'd love to actually continue discussing, because it's great. You guys are great. We do enjoy what you're doing.
Yeah, we try to do it. We try to do it a little differently here. We as we say, we use education and we use entertainment for edutainment. And Pedro and I just have this.
That's the way to go.
We have a good working a repertoire here that that works. He's good at some things. I'm good at some things, and we've been doing this now for about 2 years.
2+ years.
No, wow.
A little bit over 2 years. Seriously, for about a year. And it's just starting to really grow. And thank you for helping with your community.
Yeah, well, I'm glad. Like I said, thank you for having us. And basically, I do have a lot of experience using to actually execute user acquisition. So basically, like the way it works is like at first it's very slow, but after that you begin to double quickly. And at one point you gain 30% of your whole community every month if your content is very good. So it's a good thing that it's been 2 years, because it's going to grow like way quicker, like in the next 2 years, if your content continues to be that good.
Well, one of the things that we always are trying to do is one, innovate, and the other thing is bring good content, like bring real interesting thoughts to the market, like yours, right? It's like he was telling me, I was like, dude, as I was reading through this, I said, dude, these guys rock the mic. Like I was about to, like I was like, and here's the thing. The key is it's really the leadership that is brought to the table. You can have a great idea, but when the leadership is well, then typically you have the situation where you had Tesla before Elon Musk. But once Tesla merged with Elon Musk, and he just took that and he ran with it and really made it into something. And that's where I see, like you are great. I can see you as a CEO. I can see you have great people skills. I can see you into moving.
It's called shining your ass there. We're doing a good job of it.
No, but it's not to start shining your ass. For me, I sit there and I'm like, right, when I look at somebody and I see a leader, can this guy move people? Right? If I can't understand a word that you're saying, but your subcontext where it moves me, bro, that's, and you have that, you legitimately have that, and you can see yourself almost growing in it, right? If you get excited, you pop, regardless of what or how you are. It's really the sub communication that happens, and you're great at it. You know how to do it, and that's amazing.
Thanks.
Yeah,
I appreciate that. Really, thanks. But yeah, like in the last 10 years, I've been working quite a lot on the message itself, because at first the message was different. But the last 10 years, I communicated with a lot of people. I do have people in my community that's been following me for 8 years now. So basically, this actually shows And basically, it will be very useful to actually attract people to create value inside our DAO, inside our ecosystem, because they like a lot of people want to do something meaningful in life, right? They want to do
Yeah.
something that will be like not only rewarded, but that will mean something. So if you have a developer, for example, that is working in a big company that's working on a bullshit marketing project, and if he saw us after that, if we sell him that message, basically the idea to have like the ability to have him actually increase a lot. So basically, I really made sure that I really worked on my message and my multiple marketing segments in order to attract more people, to actually sell the project, in order to acquire users and attract companies in the ecosystem. So we have multiple segments like that to make sure that actually everybody actually gets what the value they want from our ecosystem without understanding the whole thing if they don't want to. So I think that's the goal, and I think that moving these people initially actually will require a lot of leadership, but I think that we will be able to do that without any problem.
Great. Well, we're looking forward to watching this freight train run down the tracks. I think it's going to do the Halifax to Vancouver run in about 5 seconds instead of the 10 days it takes now. But anyway, Steve, thanks for joining us. We really appreciate it. Everyone out there that's listening, whether you're watching this live or on one of their various replays, please reach out to the Legit crowd, join up with their group, get involved with this. This is going to be something that everyone can participate in, and hopefully Steve and his 41,000 followers on LinkedIn and Pedro and I and a number of our viewers will just wait and watch this thing blossom and change humanity. So thanks for coming on the show. We really appreciate it. Ladies and gentlemen,
Well, glad to be here.
when we come back,
We're
going to take a break. When we come back, we'll be talking about the BTC Bonanza. It's going towards 100K. We'll be right back.
Now.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for putting up with those ads. If you got them, really appreciate it. What a great guest we just had, Pedro. It's
oh my goodness.
It's I don't know, the world in 1,000 years, when they look back and say what were the key things that humans did to evolve, they're going to go back, well, they figured out fire because then they could cook.
Wheel.
Yeah, the wheel. And then they'd be like, it's not going to be they figured out computers, or they're going to say they figured out physics. They got electricity and magnetism, and that allowed, within 100 years or 150 years, humanity has completely changed, where we can almost control our own DNA code now, completely, and to the point, and we're going to be an extraterrestrial species, go into another planet, stuff like that. All because we discovered electricity, which will lead to this AI. I'm just sitting here thinking, like, we both have our AIs, and I'm like, hey, Pedro, you just broke up with me. Our relationship online, the AIs evolved faster than it did in real life. Oh, whoa.
So is this a sign? I was like, are we not going to work out? You know what's even interesting, even more than that? When I think about, let's say I get free range, where I can sit there and say, free range, go explore, right, of who would connect, that we could connect with. And because I am so careful on who I let in my life, I am like I'll let you in as an acquaintance and as somebody who I observe and watch and connect with, but you're not in my life. Like you're at that peripheral, right? Like you're at that arm's length further away. I have a few people that I let in my life, but it's going to be really interesting to see as my AI connection starts to go and connect with other AI, right? It'd be really interesting to see who or what it connects with, and for me to sit there and be like, and then I reach out and say, hey, my AI connected with your AI. Do you want to just have a conversation and see what's up, right? like, you know what I'm saying? Like, especially like, you know, I'm so guarded when it even comes to even females, right? I'm like, boom, like, and so it's going to be really interesting to see what happens as, I mean, even in the dating world and all that. I just think it's going to be very interesting, right, as we move forward. Anyhow, yeah, the conversations that could have had. I was trying to stay on topic so hard there, so we could stay in the DAO and talk about it. But man, he's going to come back on, and we're going to have some real fun. We'll call it, you know what, on Wednesday, when it's whatever Wednesday,
fireside chat with Pedro, and then you can go on for 6 hours.
Oh, dude, it would be.
All right, we'll figure that out, because there are certain topics that have been stewing inside you for a long time that need to come out.
Yeah, immensely. Yeah.
But I liked one of the things he brought up. I really enjoyed learning about is how your user count, your followers, and how that is, potentially we're right on the edge there, Pedro. I think we're right on the edge, and thank you to everyone in the community for bringing us to the edge of really blowing up this show. And doing good stuff. And I tell you, if we have more good projects on, like I'm pointing here, you guys can't see it, pointing to Steve, then we won't want to have any trouble getting thousands of viewers here. And that's when the big bucks start rolling in, when you hit lettuce prep.
Well, what's going to be interesting is his connection, where I can actually go through, interact with people, generate an income where, like, I can sit there and work with his AI in a free form and say, this is what we're trying to create. And then instead of it saying, sorry, we can't do that, it can actually say, yeah, okay, these are some things we need to do. And all of a sudden I have,
pilot.
Dude, and then 50, 60 other guys who go, dude, I've been trying to, and then all of a sudden I merge with them. And we're like just idea after idea after idea. And before you know, we've created something that is so dope, it's dope-alicious, that everybody wants to take a bite off of. Like,
I wish I had the sound machine going,
baby.
There would be some good sound effects for this one. All right, Pedro, there's something amazing going on right here.
Yes, BT.
Bringing up the window. I'm not sure whose screen it's going to be on. Probably mine. But we are. Oh Jesus! Did we break it? No. 98.
We're still playing here. Yeah, we're still playing here.
Let me bring your screen back here. Oh, this, ladies and gentlemen, I was hoping. I was watching it go. People are talking about it in the comments. I was hoping it was going to go on and bust the 100,000 level while Steve was on. And then we'd have one of those, do you remember when things, 20 years from now, be like, where were you when it did 100,000? Where were you when it was a million?
BTC. Most people are not going to even be aware of this moment. Like 90. It's like when Hitler came to power. Actually, it's a wrong ideology.
Right.
Sorry. Wait, why is my brain going? Whatever. No, what I meant was, it's like saying, where were you when 9/11, again, I'm trying to,
man, just topics that are just, YouTube's going to kill us.
I know, right? Yeah, right. Oh, no, here's one. Where were you when the idea that, like, money can become digital? Right, like that idea of cryptocurrency, like when your kids ask you, right, like boom, like I remember, right, I remember seeing it. I was at a friend's wedding ish thing, and they were talking about it, and my friend Joel Gonzaga, who is the brother to Ginger Gonzala, over on a TV show, and we're sitting there, we're going around, and he brings up, dude, have you thought about Bitcoin and the digital world and what's actually happening? And I said, oh, that's all funny money. And he goes, no, man,
not that funny money stuff.
And he goes, no, I think it's going to be something. And then he reached out to me, a couple years later and was like, hey, are you in this? And I said, no, I'm not. I think it's stupid. And then he just wrote me off. And I understand. Now I'm in it to win it. And I'm like, man, my dude, you killed it. And he's actually on LinkedIn. And I love him to death, man. He's a great guy, and he was the first guy in my community growing up that really kind of made me kind of see outside of, hey, like there are other ideologies besides Christianity within Christianity. And I respect that guy immensely. Anyways, the reason I'm saying that is I remember that moment. I remember when he said, what are your thoughts on crypto and where you think it's going to go? And he goes, I think it's going to be something. And I regret it. I absolutely regret it. I wish I would have sat there and been open-minded enough to sit there and go, you know what? Let me look into it. I don't know. The idea of I don't know is important.
It is. And Pedro, as you've heard me say a number of times, I used to employ a lot of people. And one of the things as a boss or as a manager or as a department leader or as a factory production line supervisor, it's important for people. I tell this over and over and over again. I tell people I'm the boss, but I don't want yes men around me. If you think something's wrong, you tell me. I'm not going to get mad because you think something's wrong. I'll either say you're right, something is wrong, or I'll say no, I understand your concern, but we're doing it this way, and I'll give you the reason why. And also that goes along with being in the position to say, yep, I was wrong. I fucked that up. I learned a good lesson from that. And when you do that, your employees look at you like, oh my God, he didn't try and blame someone else, or he didn't. It changes the whole work environment. In fact, I did that when I went to Canada. I came into Canada to take over an armored vehicle company that was way behind on deliveries. Their manufacturing process went to hell. The employee morale was low. People were quitting. They were not able to recruit people because the word got around that it's a bad place to work. It had all the bad things going for it, and it was heading for bankruptcy. And I got there and I was like, what the hell's going on? And I talked about the previous guy, and they're like, yeah, well, blah, blah, blah. And he just described exactly the opposite of what I was doing. Blamed everyone else, took all the credit, sat in his big chair trying to take the credit for everything. And I said, well, I'm not going to be like that, guys. If I screw something up, you tell me, and I'll admit it. And I did. I screwed up a couple of things. But in the end, the employees turned right around. The morale came around, ended up with proud people like, this is what I do. And when you build armored vehicles for your prime minister or the president, it's an automatic proud. I mean, you are proud of the stuff. And
you're a BA.
And when I walked in and they were not proud of that, I'm like, whoa, something's wrong. Anyway, it was a good turnaround. And even though that factory with all those employees ended in 2016, I think the contract was finished. I'm still friends with most of the guys that took that mindset with them, and we're still friends to this day.
I love it. I actually have to go through and admit something here. So you've heard me now complain multiple times about the charting here at TradingView and how they switched up the timeframes in which the candles switch.
Yep.
And guess what? They actually changed it back.
Really? Got enough of you guys complaining? So
I don't know. I don't know
if
it was. No, I don't know if they did it because they heard me, or did the institution say, well, listen, because of crypto and how it works, and everybody can see on the blockchain, you might want to actually do it. So I really don't know, but I'm happy now that that it's actually kind of on my 4-hour candle. Now, not necessarily on the 2-hour, but on the 4-hour candle, that it actually sets at the right time. And to me, that's huge. That is so huge for me. I'm happy. It's actually working, and I'm happy about it. I really am. It's a big deal. It's a really big deal. That 2-hour, that 4-hour candle in trading, at least for me, they worked it out. And I want to shout out to TradingView for that, because hey, I don't know if you were listening to me or other people have complained and you changed it back, but
thank you, TradingView. There we go. The great graphics machine says we're Getting closer, Pedro. We're
Yes,
now
sir.
only
Yes, sir.
$50 billion short.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wait, no. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, 50 billion.
Yeah, 52 bill. 51 billion, 235,049.
The question is how much actual cash needs to come in? I don't know what the ratio of
Yeah.
investment to market cap is in Bitcoin. There's various people say different things, and so I'm confused about it.
Yeah.
But I am up $30 in.
Whoop, whoop.
I had a trade on all night, and when I went to bed last night, I put a stop in at 97,000, and it excuse me, it came down, and that's when they cleaned the stops out. But, and it hit it. They weren't trying to clean mine out, but they definitely got the guys that were putting in orders thinking it was going to crash lower. And then I rebought it. Rebought it as it was going up, and I'm back in.
Nice.
We got a nice little run going here from this morning, and it's just looking good.
You know what's going to be really interesting is one of the things I couldn't stand about ChatGPT and a lot of the other ones is they wouldn't allow you to mess and create certain metrics within the market. They said, go reach out to a financial advisor. We're not allowed to do that. And it was so frustrating because when it first started and really started to go, it was helping me out quite a bit. And I remember a distinct moment where I actually had a metric on. I said, go back and do this. And then it did it for me. And then I went back because I actually deleted it.
Yeah.
And I went basically, and I asked it again in a different type of prompt, and it went and it said, sorry, we can't do this. And we're talking, this is a 10-minute difference. So I went and grabbed the same prompt, copied, pasted, put it back in, and it gave me the same thing saying, we can't do this. And I sat there and I was like, wait, I just did it literally 10 minutes ago. What do you mean you can't do it now? And it was that moment that I said to myself, they're bot. Like, I'm using them, and now it's just, we keep getting restricted more and more and more, and it's very frustrating. So I look forward to seeing Legit DAO actually work and create something that I can actually play with and use in a real world, real world trading aspect. And so that's another thing I was going to ask him to do is like, as we move forward, can we do this? And will you suppress it, right, if the banks pay you enough money, or will you allow for free trade?
Well,
right,
like he said, it's going to be the members of the DAO that allow it or
DAO.
not.
Yep. So it's going to be, I don't know, I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be really cool. And Bitcoin right now is really starting to trying to get going and surge. What are your thoughts?
Wait, hold on 1 second here. Carmen just asked us a question.
Yes.
How does global liquidity look today? Hasn't it been constricting the last 2 months?
What does that mean? I apologize.
Yeah, that was just money. I guess the overall worldwide money supply. Didn't one of your charts say what the?
Yeah. So you're talking about the S&P 500. Are we talking about the Dixie?
No,
right,
the total. The what is it? The total money supply of all the currencies in the world.
Oh,
I forget what chart it is.
Give me 1 second.
Someone always talks about it. I can't remember who it is. An online streamer talks about it and says, the concept is if governments are printing more money, it's going to lead to inflation, and that was a good way to track it. So yeah, I think it's the M2, but that's mostly U.S. The M2 for the whole world.
Yeah, we're talking M2, M1, M2 money supply. We could go over that, I guess, right now. I mean, but the key point here is that, well, let me stop saying the dollar right now, we've talked about this. This was back at, shoot, what I'm trying to say, I'm trying to stay away from the dollar really started pumping back in October-ish area. And we talked about around this level in September. As we came down, I said, we're expecting it. If Trump wins, it's going to change the metrics of the Dixie, the dollar. And as it comes down, and so everything flies differently on the dollar. There are two forms of a dollar, right? We have the dollar, then we have the petrodollar. The petrodollar is what a lot of people around the world said they want to stop using and go into either the petro yuan, and there are a few other things out there. And the petro yuan was actually created, I believe, in 2007, 2008, a little bit before I think it was before the catastrophe, around that same time. And so this actually started acting as a buffer to the U.S. supremacy of our dollar. And it was actually gaining some strength until a bunch of stuff happened with Ukraine and Russia. And then this idea of BRICS really started taking on a lot of value. But since Trump has come to the market, and also the war that's actually happening, and here's the other part. I mean, Putin made it very clear yesterday, hey, look, I will only have conversations with Trump. And obviously the woke left sat there and said, see, he's bought. But the reality is that, like, a couple of days ago made it very clear that, I mean, Biden is not being cool. And so we're watching these situations happening on a geopolitical standpoint, and the dollar is actually gaining strength. Now, we did talk about, I expect to see us blow through this 107 area, right? We talked about this and come up to that 111 area. This is going to bring a lot of pressure on many other currencies that are not pegged to the dollar. It's going to be very hard for them to do business as we keep climbing here. So I expect to see a lot of currencies really repegging to the US dollar so they can interact with the global trade system. And then as this happens, if we see inflation pick up, and in addition to that, a US supremacy and development of goods and services, our GDP grow, again, this is potentially like in the 1980s, in the early 1980s position where, well, Reagan went through and decentralized a lot of businesses that were centralized. And so, but I'm not saying that's when this is the idea of
him and Margaret Thatcher.
Yeah.
Changed the entire airline industry, changed the entire trucking industry, changed the myriad of industries. The Thatcher changed the mines and broke up the unions and started Britain's move away from coal.
Yes, it was huge. It was
massive.
It was massive. People don't realize the reason why you're prosperous. And again, it's hard to sit there because did the trickle down effect really work? Yes and no, right? Like, again, it's not just so black and white. And you can sit down with economists and they can go back and forth. You know, I've heard not just two sides. There's 5 or 6 sides on that, just one thought process. But the idea behind this is this, and I'm actually gonna sit there.
I gotta go get a glass of water. I'll be right back.
I posted something on Twitter yesterday with actually a friend of mine, and he's the guy that I talk about he's a liberal, and he's a moderate liberal. He's a central. What did he say? He's a central liberal is what he said he wanted to be quantified as. And so I said, all right, I'll talk about you. He is a central liberal. He said he wanted his party back. He said he wanted, whereas like I can disagree with other liberals and not be vilified as if I'm Satan himself, right? This is his biggest thing, right? He may not agree with certain aspects behind the great wokeism, right? And obviously I say that facetiously. And so we started talking about how there needs to be this form of coming together and connecting with both sides. And I don't expect the far left and the far right to come to the table. I don't. We've already seen it now with the media system. The View is a good example of them saying lies again yesterday, and a couple things that have actually happened regarding that. And again, I think the View has some good points. That's why I watch it. Okay, this again. I'm not closed off to anybody because again, I can pull gold from anywhere, right? But we were talking, and he basically said, and I thought this was brilliant. He goes, "We need the days of Tip O'Neill, we need the days of Henry Clay and the coming together of, Tip O'Neill and Reagan. where we can scream at each other in the halls. And then at the end of the night, we grab a bourbon and a cigar and go, how are we going to take care of the American people? And so I want to read this online because my friend, I'm going to call him the great central liberal, which is funny because even though he still calls himself a liberal, and we yell at each other about, China and all the other politics, that craziness out there. But I'm going to read this because I think it was brilliant. And he actually helped me craft this. So I want to give her credit due. But I said, we need the days of Ronald Reagan and Tip O'Neill, UFC bare knuckle daily battles in the halls, and nightly compromise in the spirit of Henry Clay. And if you don't know who those guys are, you need to go read about Henry Clay. This is how we are going to heal the nation and move forward, creating a springboard for crypto Web3 innovation. Let's go, America. And so in the same sense, you're like, well, Pedro, you were just talking about the dollar and you just went off on the left field here. The reason why I say that is this idea that if we could, because we all know that Web3 will bring money into the pockets of the working man versus whereas Web2 put money into the pockets of, well, now global elitists.
1,000%, Pedro. 1,000%. All of you take Pedro's comment there and file that away in your head for future. That's why we're doing this whole thing. That's why we're doing here in DeFi, crypto, all that type of stuff. It's not just betting on meme coins and fire chicken tokens.
But it is. I mean, it's a mix. Yeah, but in the same sense, it also gives a road that the working man can finally get ahead. Whereas he can put a HNT miner on his door or by his, and he can every time somebody comes by the network, he receives a little bit of HNT. So while he's out there working, his devices are making money for him, right? And this idea that, each person, and I think this is going to happen sooner than later, have a personal brand that they can actually make money off of while they're working. And sooner or later, as the robots come in, as we start to see many other organizations that create ability that we can actually advertise from, that what we represent truly, we will be able to generate income and money. So it's one of those things that people are afraid of the future, but I think we're going to have a future, and I'm going to quote Elon Musk here, a future of prosperity like we've never had before, where people will be able to work more in creativity than in manual labor. Or if they want to work manual labor, right, they'll be able to, and this is the part that I love about it, really work with and create ingenuity within it, right? So I'm looking forward to this. And as the dollar pushes up, it allows people to kind of come along with, because US dollars now, because of Trump, really focused on one thing, Web3, right? Decentralization, right? And so I'm really looking forward to this new period in time as we progress. As I tell Tom, if you knew that the S&P 500 was going to be at 6,000 and it was at $200 and $300, this plus 20 years ago, right? Would you have invested in, even though it skyrocketed then? And everybody says a resounding yes.
Yeah, of course. It's like, of course. But back then, you're like, I don't know.
Right. Well,
let's see how my investment in Bitcoin is doing. Well,
let's check it out here.
I'm up $9. It looks to be starting looks like it rejected off. I'm going over the highs on the short-term charts here. So this may not be a winning trade unless we get some buying volume coming in here. Pedro, tell me how the volume's looking. Is the volume doing what you said yesterday, that it needed to start coming in?
Yeah, so it is. It legitimately is. So our bounce off of the 100-day period, or the 100-day, 100 period moving average on the 15 definitely came in. We saw volume coming off of this level here from yesterday into the evening. We saw it come when we saw it pop. We came down again and found it. We're seeing volume step in. And what's nice about it is that it all depends on what it's going to do here on this. Let's check it out. 4-hour chart here. What's the next one here? 12. Yeah, so we're taking profit right now. And we always, a candle has 4 sectional periods in it. You have your top wick, your a buyer and seller wick, and then you create the body. And every time we see this, every new candle, we'll see a new up and down candle. And so with that said, I do expect us to see a type of pullback here. So I think you should take your profit. We're coming up to the last end of this candle here. We are starting to see kind of a sell-off and a slowdown in volume in a short term here, as we create that new candle for the next 8 hours, as we've talked about, right? That the day split up into 4 8-hour periods, and from those 3 8-hour periods, right? You have the Asian market, you have the London market, and we have the Asian, London, and U.S. market. And in those periods, it's then split up in time frames. And right now, this next 4-hour period here, as we create this time period, is an area that I'm expecting us to see it create a nice little, turnover here, and see it kind of come down. So, and that would be the 4-hour candle. So expect to see some pullback. If you want to pull out, make your profit, right, and then wait for a potential pullback.
I did just that. I sold roughly 70% of it right now, and just watching just a little bit here to see what it does.
Okay, good, smart man. This man knows what he's doing here. This area here, I like this area here. Actually, right in here, we can come back down, tap this area right here.
What numbers are that?
These are numbers of 97,987. This is the 2-hour candle. Here we go. Or the 1-hour candle, the previous 1-hour candle. We could see this thing kind of come down in here in this next, either it may, if the current candle comes down and taps this area right now, you want to give it a little wiggle room and basically see it come down and tap and see volume come in on that 5-minute. The area that I want to see a bounce off of is that 97,469 area, in between this area and this area, which is going to be that 613 to the 472. There's going to be liquidity sitting at this level here, and that's where the moving average is sitting on that 8. So we could see it come down with some volume and continue up. Now let me check something here real quick as well. Let me check out the ATR here.
While you're pulling that up, let me just address the crew here a little bit. We've been on a long time today, but our interview with Steve Rodrigue from Legit DAO went longer than usual because, frankly, it was so effing good. We haven't gotten to some of the funnier things today, talking about this fire chicken here, started by our loyal viewer on Rumble, Dr. Fire Chicken, and we will probably let that percolate a little bit and maybe talk about it tomorrow. But I want to address, someone mentioned the kid that stole the money.
Yes, dude.
That video is awesome when he realized how much money he's just stole from everyone. He's like, yes, and he's flipping them off, that kind of stuff.
Oh, man. Dude, the worst, I think the best and the worst part behind all of that is that as that kid is doing that, right, like he flips everybody off, right, which is typical degen move. Even, I mean, what was it? The kid was 12 years old? How old was he?
Yeah, 12.
Yeah, and and I think this speaks to the beauty of literally, crypto, that anybody can go and make money, right? You can go in there trying to make money. And one thing about degenic mindset is, like there's person versus person. There's that side, and a lot of these are off a pump fund, right? These guys, they try to pump this stuff and then they get it going.
Wow.
But I can imagine. What's up?
I just looked at the fire chicken chart, and it's 65% on its way to bonding.
Oh, really?
A couple of buys will pump that liquidity pool, and it won't take. Not that I'm telling you what to buy. I mean, everyone make their own decisions, and I have no interest in this, except I did take some of our. I think it's about. It was under $20, some random change and dust out of our show wallet and did buy this for us, Pedro. So we are owners of Fire Chicken.
Oh shoot, we are. Okay. Oh, okay. Then thank you. I because we do a show, we need to make sure we say that. That's like really important.
That's
really,
why
really
I said
important. Yes, yes. Okay. All right. So I also want to throw out. I almost want to pivot a little because partly, this is for. So Theoric is the company in which Shin Guy is a part of, and I really like that company. And so I want to connect. And if you're still watching us, brother, the company is called Theoric, and the person who is part of that, her name is Shinjin. And I want Shin Guy. Why do I keep saying? Whatever. So I want you to check him. I want you to connect with her. And I think you guys would actually be dynamic together. You guys are both in Canada. You guys are doing a lot of stuff. So I think you guys coming together could help each other. Anyways, I'm saying that because I'm doing that for the review of when people review this show. And I want to be able to say this because it just came to mind what her company was called. Okay. So long story short, let's jump back to what you were saying. Fire Chicken. Dude, again, this is nuts because only in crypto can anybody really go in and get a start and become something, right? Like I think it's a beautiful thing, And so I absolutely love it. And I'm gonna let's show Fire Chicken here real quick. Let's see. All right, here we go. Here we go again. I'm ready to pump. Okay, perfect. And here we go. GM. While I'm doing that, do you want to take over real quick?
Yeah, I was just sitting here laughing at it. But one of the other things I just noticed over on Rumble that we have hit 235 viewers. Not all at the same time, but since we started this show so many hours ago, you've added yourself to mute, just so you know. And
I got so excited. I hit that. I was like, yeah, much love, baby. All right. All right, here we go. I love it.
Thank you to everybody that's watching on Rumble. I realize many of you did not stay and are no longer there. But because that count going up, that means people are joining us. That means they're finding us in the Rumble algorithm.
Yes.
Please let us know how you found us. Where did you find us? If you're not a member of Rumble, you don't have to join the premium and pay. You can just log in with Google or Facebook or Twitter or whatever X, right up in the corner up there, and just click log in. It'll create an account for you. Drop a comment, drop a like. Let us know, how you found us. It's hard to think that we have 235 people that viewed us, but
so
only
awesome.
6 people liked us. And before it said 7. I know I saw it say 7. And now it is 1 less. And I was like, how is this possible?
Well, and here's the thing. I also put it up. Like, look, we've got 18 people that are here. We appreciate every one of you guys. Please hit that like, subscribe, and just come and connect with us. We're a huge, connective, interactive show. And it's real important. We really want to connect with the viewers and hear the questions that they bring up and hear the thought processes that they're going through, what they want us to go check out. So we're going to, I hope we have a lot more, projects like we just had today. I think I love it. I love those conversations. They're so engaging, and I love it. I absolutely love it. So let's go ahead here real quick and check out. I think this is super important, by the way, as we continue here with this chart. Fire Chicken. We got to get above. We got to get a cut. We got to get a pump here. We need to see a pump. So, because if not, then the next level here would be right about here. Right about here.
I can see where this is going. To see all the dev buys, and we know the dev. And I think the dev's been providing the liquidity.
I love it. Good guy, though. Good guy. All right, so this is the thing I want to look at as well. Here we go. Boom. this is for the devs. So these are areas that if you're going to get in, we want to get in with other buyers so that you're not throwing hard-earned money out the window here. Out the window. All right,
everybody, will I do something here?
Here we go. Here we go again. All right. So my good old friend, Kungar, good old fire chicken over there. Look, these are some of the areas you might want to look in if you're going to be doing certain things. There you go, bud. I like it. I like it a lot. And let me go into the price area there so you can sit there and see what I'm looking at. And then here we go, one right here. Wouldn't it be funny if this thing just took off? You know what I'm saying? Like, part of me almost wants to say that company that has the AI connection, right? Wouldn't it be dope if they just said, we like these guys, they're about the fire chicken, and they all just started going with him, and all of a sudden we connect this AI with this other AI, and all of a sudden it's just, all of a sudden it's like $50 billion, and we're like, yeah! Anyway, so, sorry, I'm being a complete dork. All right, so let's jump back here real quick. Jumping back to that kid who was absolutely a nut. I think what was so funny about it was this, is to see crypto really go through and like, oh my goodness, this is kind of horrible. And then the other groups and say, wait, he's a degen. What are you talking about? And he made a bunch of money for his family, so he put that money, he probably put that money into other degen plays and saw it pump. And so I would love to know what is happening with that kid. What's he doing with the money? And is he making his life and his family's life better? Or is he like, his parents don't even know what he's doing and they're completely clueless, which is probably that. You know what I'm saying?
Right. The question is, how is he going to turn it into fiat?
Well, if the kid is smart, he realizes that, and he probably is, I mean, if he understands how to deploy a smart contract on Pump Fund, probably not an idiot. He probably understands kind of how to go through, and you can turn that into USD, and then with that USD, it creates, you can stake it, and that money he can put it into other things, right?
I'm more than certain his dad came over and said, "Thank you very much," and hopefully, he can't just send it back. You don't know, he can't give it. I mean, the fact that he intentionally rug pulled someone on that like that.
I bet you he's done that 100 times, bro. Did we know what was the actual thing? Because what was the name of the project, real quick, so we can go through. I want to look at it. Does anybody know the project name or the contract that he actually had?
No, I'm sure it's on.
Here, look it up real quick, because we'll be able to see how many he's actually gone through and deployed, right? Because he's the dev, and so Pump Fund keeps track of all the devs who actually launch.
Here it is. It's on Altcoin Daily.
Here, send it to me. I'm in the private chat between me and you. Yeah, and we'll be able to sit there and see what's up with it and see how many this kid has developed, and then has he had multiple ones, but he just happened to show his face because he was an idiot this time because he's 12 years old. It's like when the internet became the internet, and I think was it a 10-year-old kid? Was it the 10-year-old kid who basically was through chat was able to turn the markets around, and because he had such an insight in the market.
Oh yeah,
and then he was that. And he was a 10-year-old kid, you know what I'm saying? And a 10 or 12-year-old kid, same thing. But he was literally I think he went out with 500,000, started with a couple bucks, and just exploded it. So I hope they just don't take it away. I want kids to be able to do this. Here's the thing, the genius behind this is the fact is that the kid had the ability to be able to do it. And
holy fuck!
You full clip.
Holy fuck! Thanks for the 20 bandos.
Yeah, he did.
Yo! yo, 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 yo.
He don't even know. He don't even know what to do with himself.
What the fuck? What the fuck?
There it
Nah,
comes.
nah, bro.
Nah, bro. Yeah, he's definitely not in the United States. He's definitely not. He's somewhere in Europe. That was hilarious. Hilarious. True degen right there.
Unbelievable.
What was the contract? What is it? Did you get it? You sent it to me?
Oh, I didn't. I only sent you the link to the Twitter.
Oh, give me the contract. You didn't send
It
to
was
me.
called Quant, Quant. It's in
Quant.
See, it's right here on the screen, above me. Look at your studio page.
I just can't. Yeah, I'm trying. I gotta go through it. Pardon me, guys.
Needs his glasses.
I gotta get my glasses, dude.
Well, Pedro, Bitcoin did exactly what you said.
Mm-hmm.
It pulled back, and I ended up closing out the entire position before it did.
Nice.
And
I can't see it. Go back to it. I can't see it.
Here.
Sorry, guys. Quant. Don't get old, guys. Whatever you do, don't get. Where are you going? QUANT. Is this it? Oh wow, they pushed it all the way up to. I think this is it.
Let me turn my screen off.
All right, so the kid has unknown rug pulls. Dang it. We should have been able to see blue chip. Boom. They pushed this thing. So I think right here is when it pumped and he sold off, right? It was like right in the beginning where is when he got in. Here you go. Here it is. Dev sell.
That was $30,000. No,
Yeah.
what's the market cap now, or the liquidity pool?
Yeah. Wait. Let me second this. So I can. So liquidity pool right now on. And mind you, this is what happened, right? The kid sells. Boom. Wrecks the chart. Pushes down a little, and then they realize like the kid goes live, and they're like everybody's cracking up. They're just like. Freaking only a degen would do this. Only a degen. And then the whole entire crypto community goes, let's pump this thing, dude. And so everybody, it's a small community, right? Even though it's a big community, it's a very small. So one KOL reaches out to another, and then everybody just makes this kid viral. Boom, pushes out, and everybody jumps in. And literally sends it. So give me a second. Let me check out the market cap here. So that's the story behind it. But what I thought. Get on the kit. What's up?
Oh, okay, it recovered. We had I think I'm reaching the end of the memory here on the computer. Didn't crash. Thought it was gonna. I gotta close some things.
All right, so it went from like 17,000, where he bought in, I believe, or he must have got in right here. So Dev bought down here at 6,000, and I think where did the Dev? I know there's a way to check out when Dev sold. What's the price? I wish my boy was here. I know there's a way to check where the Dev sells. Holders, traders, holders.
I'm of little help here.
Yeah. Either way, I'm going to point this out. It goes from basically where he makes about $30,000 around 3 mil. Okay, is where it's sent, and then, but they push it all the way up to literally $120 million. So like they basically did like what is that? That'd be a 20x, right? It went to 2 million. I think he got around 2 mil. Give me a second. Let me make.
Some people made a lot more money on that token than he did.
Oh, made a lot more. Yeah, like 3 mil and pushed it up to 120 mil. And
so
it just.
If those people that got rugged by him didn't sell the pennies and say, "Ah, crap,"
Yeah.
if they just left them in there, they all got $1 million.
Yeah. pretty much, or whatever, you know. And here's the thing, it had so much trading volume at one point in time. I think somebody was like, it was like 60 mil or something like that, trading volume going back and forth. So it was just funny because you're sitting there and it's just like, I bet you the kid probably had another account once he saw that and was like, oh, everybody's going to jump in. And I bet you, I mean, because if the kid knows how to deploy a wallet, obviously, or a contract, he knows how to deploy wallets to get in and get out.
You know, that's a
It'd be
good
stupid
point,
for him.
Pedro.
There's no point. Like there's no point for why, if it starts descending and he sees all the KOLs talking about it, why would you not jump in, bro? Down in this level here,
all news is up news in meme
yes.
coins.
Yeah. Whether it's negative or positive, news is news. It gets a coin out. If I'm that dev with a new wallet, not associated with the other wallet, and again, obviously the kid's not from the United States, so he knows how to play. And most people don't realize here in the United States even what we're talking about, right? So like a decentralized wallet versus centralized wallet, how to actually play, how to go through it all, how to, it's the reason I'm saying this is I bet you that probably left, came back a few minutes later to see what's going on, and saw it still climbing. And then got in on it again, dude. And the kid had like he probably put in 10,000, 20,000 to see what it would happen. It's just, look at it, and it's sent. It just sent within 3-4 hours. This hit. So who knows? Quant was the token in this.
Yeah, that's
this
an old message.
All right, got it. So anyhow, I think it's a beautiful thing to a certain extent. And I don't like the fact that he rugged people, but this is DJing, bro. Like this is just how it works, and people make money, and hopefully he was able to take care of his family, and help out things. And probably his father was like you said, thank you, that's ours. You're an idiot.
Oh yeah, you think you rug pulled them? I'm gonna rug pull you.
Exactly. It's like, Dad, no. He's like, and that internet connection, bloop. Get over here. No more gaming for you for a few days. Dad, no.
Oh.
So I just think it's funny, real funny. And now it's sitting at about 9 mil. So I bet you another KOL is going to get in on it and push this thing like we always see, right? I'm so sad we can't see how many he's actually gone through. Man, 21,000 holders still. That's hilarious. Hilarious. Was this KOL? Did they CTO this? What is the Twitter? Is it? Yeah, they do. Look at this. This is so epic.
The profile picture?
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
This is his Twitter account. Gen Z Quant. Dude, look at him, dude. He's like, look at the red, dude. He's so excited, dude.
What's the number?
Like, yeah.
What's the number on that picture? Scroll down.
Oh, right here.
Oh, I'm looking at the wrong feed here.
Oh, boom. What is this? Boom.
Well, that's $2,000.
It says, yeah, $2,000.
Oh, I thought he took 20 out or 30.
No, he did. Yeah, somebody said, yeah, he took like 30 grand is what everybody's saying. So I'm trying to think. Oh, but he's going to be the next meme, bro. Only in crypto, baby. Only in crypto.
And they've just, all these companies and people that have been using the word quant, they're like, we are the quantitative, we are the this kind of
this
stuff.
Is the new
this
name
kid
for
just
quant.
turned that word into a forever meme in crypto.
Forever quant, right here, dude. Only, dude. It actually got up to 300 million volume in 24 hours.
What?
It is, dude. Yeah. Look, dude. 300. The last one that I looked, it was like, I said it was like 81 million, but I didn't realize this thing, dude. That is nuts. It refuses to die. Therefore, we go. Man, CTO, great job, guys, taking this over and having fun with it. I'm almost going to jump into Telegram here, dude. I got you, dude. I got it. See what's up, dude. This is game. Let's go. Have to verify. Boom. Start. All right. Oh. Come on. Let me in.
Here, while you're I'll let you use your screen. I'll pull us back onto.
All right.
Tell me when you get into that.
Yeah, I'm actually going to just tell them we're going over right now. Love it. We are going over your project right now on our show. Come hang out. Oh, that is so epic, dude. That is so epic. Look at it, and I love the trollage, dude. Like, it's so good. Look at this. Look at that, dude. It's like one of those things. Hey there, peoples, and welcome to Quant Community. Dude, it is such a dude. And I used that succession to F them someplace very uncomfortable. Oh, that's just weird. Okay.
Mike simply says, I don't know if it's going to display it properly. Oh, yeah, there it is. GOAT, greatest of all time.
Yeah. Like it's just brilliant. I mean, absolutely brilliant. Like, where do you go from there, right? I bet you this is going to go. It will lay dormant for maybe 2-3 weeks, a month, and then before you know it, see it back up at like 1 billion. Just right. How many times have we seen that? Yep. Right? How many times? It's so funny. Drop the link in here. All right, cool. Thanks, guys. All right.
Oh, Bitcoin just turned right around and starting to march. Damn it.
No, bro. I told you. It's creating the.
I'm not.
We'll go over in a second. Give me a second.
All
right, give me a second. No, or you could get in. Just make sure you get in at a small rate, right? You want to see it come down first, then go up. Remember we talked about that all the time. Yeah. Give me 1 second. Where is our show link? Boom. Here we are. Show link.
Send him the Rumble one.
Yep, that's what I'm gonna do. Boom. Copy. Pop it like it's hot. Come hang, guys. Here we go. Come hang and have fun. Boom. And I need. Oh yeah, dude. I love it. Like the degenic mindset is so funny, bro. It's awesome. All right, here we go. Boom. We'll see. Well, hopefully these guys come in. It'll be a blast. Fingers crossed. Boom. Love it. Here you go. Oh, it didn't go in. That's weird.
They probably got a link restriction.
Oh, I can't. A link restriction. Yeah.
Post up. Find the mod and have him post it.
Yeah, I'll do it right there. I'll just do it right there. Oh, no. It went. Okay, they allowed it. Cool. All right. All right, dude. All right, guys. If you're over there and you're from, no, we started climb up. All right, guys. So if you're from Quant, shout out, log in real quick, and just love to troll, dude. This is epic.
This is one of the best ones ever,
dude. Like legit. Like you talk about the face, right? Of just like degen. Like again, not crypto. Okay, I want to make sure you understand. It's a small sect of traders within crypto. Okay, that are just degens, degenerate gamblers that are just like, let's go, right? Like, look at this right here. Let's play. It's like, let's play. That's it right there, dude. Let's play. Dude, and look, what I also do, like you said, instead of Quant being like sophisticated traders who use algorithms and all that, like as my co-host here, Tom says, this is now the new face of the word Quant. Here you go.
I gotta put your screen back on here, Pedro. Hold on.
Oh no, dude! Like all that. And the part that I love about it is that as the market is pumping here, right? Like obviously it's sold off and we're seeing it go, but as much as we all know, like this thing just starts. If it starts to go, it starts to go, and there's like again, everybody's like, "Let's go!" So it's just funny. Give me 1 second. Let's pull. Am I now sharing? All right. So this is going to be the face of Quant. No longer the sophisticated Wall Street geniuses out of MIT and Yale, like just this. No, the word Quant, when you look up in 20 years, what's a Quant? Right here. This will be it. 12-year-old kid who gives money to take it. This is the part, like, I think was so funny is that as this guy is, like, Watch when this kid grows up. He's going to be 20, 21, and he'll look back and go, oh my goodness, dude, I was a complete idiot. But right here, look at it, like right here, this will be his face. And dude, there's going to become a point in time when this kid goes to work, he wants to, well, you never know. He might put money into it and be self-independently rich. So that's the part that's so funny. Bring the kid in here to blast Tate. Oh, that'd be awesome. Oh, Tate's in there? Dude, Tate, if you're watching, bro, Tate. Well, I don't really like a lot of stuff, but I do like a lot of stuff you say. But some of the stuff I disagree completely. But if you're in there and you're watching us, man, look. Like, isn't it not genius, dude? Isn't it not genius what this kid freaking did? Like,
Pedro,
and here's
I sent you a picture posted in their room.
All right, give me a second. Here we go. Boom.
You're right. I mean, that's why we love meme coins.
Yes,
because things like this happen, and it gets the attention that meme coin needs. Here we've got Fire Chicken. Mike's got Valor Society doing nothing. And they want millions of eyeballs on it, and this kid steals a bunch of people's money, flips off the camera, and has a viral video, and then he gets things like this made for it. Pump it.
Pump it. And you know as much as I do, that's going to be the primary thing that now happens, right? Like that's the part that cracks me up more than anything, is that in our day and age, right, where we just had a guy talk about just the development of AI, what we're seeing, what's actually going to happen, and then boom, we go to this. I look forward to the day where this man has his own AI robot. I could actually go find him, like, yo, dude, what were you thinking? You know, like that would be epic.
How many people, how many members in that Telegram room? Because we're not really getting any views at all out of it, unfortunately. If you're watching this from the Quant Telegram room, join Rumble here. Just you don't need to pay for anything. Just hit the login button and use your Google or Twitter account to log into it, and drop us a comment and a like. So we're an interactive show here, and someone tell us some fun stories about this.
Yeah. Every time I keep trying to click on it, it keeps going. It's moving so quick. I'm like trying to figure out how to. Come on, Quant. There it goes. Woo! All right, guys. I got a heart. Boom, boom. Insane. Cool. So yeah. Well. Give me a second. Let's see. Hopefully it'll let me. Boom. Here we go. Talking about it right now. About it right now. Right now on Rumble.
Crypto Mike's Pump Fun Valor Society is in there. If you are into doing the Pump Fun thing, go see Mike's link and use your own money and your own brain to invest if you'd like to. I'm not telling you to go do it. Decide on your own, but I'm going to help a bro out here, as they say. Help get the word out about him. And, of course, we have our daily scammer on Kick.
Love the daily scammer. We've gotten a few of those guys to come check us out, which is pretty close. That's good. Now it's starting to go, so we'll see what's up. Hey there, no. And welcome to Quant Community. How are you? This is so good. We'll see if it pumps. We'll see if they come in. But we did what we did. But I just think it's hilarious. Only in the world of crypto does this actually get like this. And I love it. And I love it. All right, my friends. Let's see what's going to happen here with Bitcoin again. Jump up over here. Here we are. So we're doing a little pullback here. We had the little, come on now, touch me, babe. You can see here we came and tapped this 1 hour here. Boom, nice. Came in, tapped, finished off in this area. We got that hour, 8 period moving average coming in off of Bitcoin here, and pushing up. There we go. Nice little pullback. We want to be careful that it doesn't fully pull back here. But I think with such a bull push, I think we're going to see it push through up in these higher levels again. The only problem is it could have also hit its ATR for the day, which means average true range. So unless there's really major volume coming in, you can see it's actually kind of falling off a little. But again, we got this new 4-hour candle here. I expect to see at least go up a little. What you want to see, and this would be where I take my first target out of, is right above this area right here, which is going to be the high of that 9,700. First target we're sitting at right now, that's 2,900. I'd put my stop at the 8, which is going to be 98.1114, and then see my first target 60% right here, and then 60 to 70% of that, and then watch it just scream up potentially to that 100,000 mark area. So that would be the trade that you would want to play. We came down into our area over here on this 5-minute, boom, taparoo, hit that 50 period moving average, which would be the 1520 here, and just kind of seeing what's going to do. Let me pull this up here for.
On the 1-minute chart, it bounced right off the 200. A week.
We've got a nice little 8-period moving average. I talked about paying attention to the 4-hour yesterday as we're coming off the bank, come down, tap it, put it back up. So yeah, man, it's beautiful.
Boy, the 8-hour chart, fantastic.
Yo, send me the one that or are you using our sponsor?
I am using BitFi sponsor chart.
By the way, tell me about what BitFi is and what they do to all our new viewers over on Rumble and YouTube.
BitFi, this little QR code below us, is an central exchange that works in the United States but does not need KYC for your typical trading volumes. If you're a big trader, obviously you end up in the KYC area. But for all of us that just want to learn about how to go long, go short, and trade futures, trade perpetuals, trade even at the spot market too, you can sign up with this code, join, get a free $100, get 100 USDT for signing up and depositing 100 USDT, and they give you an extra 100 to trade with. And if you use that money to make money, you can withdraw those profits. But what I really like about them is that we know that the executive management of of BitFi. Oh, you know what? I might as well get their logo up here. We can reach out to them. So if you ever have any issues, like I'm having a problem with a wallet or a payment is stuck on the blockchain somewhere, we can get to the right people real quickly. So having great customer service is always a good thing here. Give me 1 second. Like, my browser is doing something. I hate it when this stuff goes so slow.
That's what happens. If anybody is a computer company and is a small-time computer company and would like to sponsor our show so that Thomas here and his CPU don't have to struggle so hard, we're basically like a little short, strong man.
There we go.
Trying to go ahead,
right. Took me a minute there to get this up. Anyway, I'm looking at here's the BitFi screen. I have it on medium dark mode. That's how I like it.
Yep.
And I have the show's graphics up over here. That's not part of BitFi. I'll pull those off there. But anyway, hey, where'd my position go?
Are you still in?
Oh, I didn't get back in.
Okay, it's all good. We should see another kind of push up here real quick, and then potentially hit that 98,000 area, that 98.7 area here, which we'll see again something similar to this, right? Where we'll see, well, where is this at? Right here. Boom, it'll pop up, come down, come back down again, and then like it'll pop up, come back down.
Oh, sorry, I have my screen on, Pedro.
Oh, it's okay.
It's gonna take me a second to get.
It is all good. It is all good. Again, shouting out to those guys over on Quant. Thanks for coming in, and looking us up over on Rumble. Really appreciate that. Real funny stuff. I always say take a picture of us. We actually have some major influencers who do very much know who we are. They do silently watch our stuff almost.
I'm always
what do they call it?
surprised. I'm always surprised when I'll talk to someone. They're like, "Oh yeah, I caught your show when you're talking about X, Y, and Z," and I'm like, "You watched our show?"
Yeah, that's exactly. How many times have we been actually like, we go to these trade shows or whatever, and like they're like, "Dude, I love your stuff," and you're like, "You know us, dude? You
Right,
have, like,
exactly.
300,000 like followers, bro. You have like."
I don't think it. Remember when we were going around taking pictures for BidFi? I went out and did some too.
Yeah.
Someone just walked by and said, "Hey, Striking." I was like,
Yeah.
I haven't been recognized in public
Ever.
I'm trying to think if I ever had been recognized in public, other than like, "Man, you were drunk last night," or you know.
I have a few of those. There's
Right.
definitely a few pictures.
I don't remember you. Well, you should. You sat and talked to me at the bar for 20 hours. I was like, oh.
Oh man, the days of my military exploits, bro. Shout out to my foster grandpa who just passed yesterday. Shout out to you, man. Yo, this man, he would wake me up. It'd be Saturday. I'd come in around 3:00, and he would give me a call, and he would be going to church, and he'd be like, "We're here. You might want to come out. Your grandma's here." And I'd be like, "Ugh." And like, you can't sit there and be like, "You came all this way. Now I'm gonna say go," you know. And so literally, I'd just be like, I'd have to roll out of bed. I'm like, "Oh, I'll be on there in a minute." And like, and this man had passed for like 50+ years. And so like, he knew, and plus he was in the military. He actually told me stories, even stories that many of my family didn't even know about it, which is actually epic. But great man, absolutely great guy. Get my butt up, get me kind of on the straight and narrow when I was being an idiot. And so shout out to him. But
It sucks when comes time for good people in your life to, as they say, look at the wrong side of the daisies.
You know
but
what's
it happens.
interesting though?
That's what did we learn just the other day, Pedro? We learned life is beautiful. Anything that you can keep forever is by definition cannot be beautiful. Only things that you will lose and cannot keep forever will be beautiful. And I found that very interesting and a cool way of looking at things, like looking at this beautiful Bitcoin chart.
Bitcoin, baby. Did you get in on the pullback right here?
Yeah,
right,
I did.
All right, good. All right, like I said, you want to go through, put your stop around that 8, and then we should see go through that 98,000.
The 8 period on which chart?
On the 5. So that 5 and 15 is what we want to see. So
just below it, like 98.3.
Yeah, 98.3 or 98.261 on the 15, depending on where you want to play. But and then again, this instead of being like a 3-to-1 that you would have had, you'll probably have a 2-to-1 or a 1-to-1 based off of where you get in on. But yeah, that's what we should see. We should just see it bloop 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 bloop. Yeah, cool, real cool. Alrighty, here we go. What do we want to go check out now? Oh, I want to bring up this story, which I thought was really interesting.
What story is that, Pedro?
What story is that, Pedro? You're like, where's he gonna go with this?
Exactly.
Oh snaps! What's going to happen? Everybody's in anticipation. What story is he going to bring? And the key point here is this: is Ethereum Layer 2 team's welcoming proposal to overhaul blockchain. It was actually by CoinDesk here, and I thought it was really interesting. Is what they talked about. And we can actually go over here real quick because I'll just read it because instead of me butchering it. What is good for the layer 1 is good for the layer 2. Boom. That's the assignment. That's the assessment. The team behind ZK Sync, or what is Zero Knowledge Sync, and Polygon, 2 of the leading layer 2 networks running on top of the Ethereum, gave a recent proposal to overhaul the 400 billion blockchain, dismissing suggestions it would make their auxiliary networks redundant, which I thought was really interesting. Long story short, they said let's rehaul it. Yes, we did. Yes, we did. Last week at the biannual DevCon gathering in Bangkok. By the way, shout out to my boy over there who introduced us, or again, shouted our name out to our sponsors. And I didn't even tell him to. He just said, "Y'all have Pedro and Tom over there. You understand how big deal they are."
Got a good shout out from a guy on the other side of the planet. Really appreciate that.
Yeah, but I wasn't even around, and I didn't even realize it. And he watches our show too, which actually blows me away. And the guy has like 10,000 viewers, 8 to 10,000 viewers a day, which is a trip. Last week at the biannual DevCon gathering in Bangkok, Thailand, developer Justin Drake laid out an ambitious plan to revamp Ethereum's. I didn't even know that. Wow, consensus layer architecture as part of the plan, which I can barely see that, dude. I'm forgive me, guys. I have to put on my glasses. I'm trying so hard not to wear these things. But because I feel like I look like a total tool when I wear them. But whatever, I don't care. As part of the plan, which has come to be known as the Beam chain, Drake suggested incorporation zero-knowledge cryptography, which serves L2s used to compress data in order to make transactions faster and cheaper into the Ethereum protocol. Over the past few years, many of the Ethereum ecosystem has pushed a roll-up-centric roadmap, meaning they would rely on layer 2 networks to overcome Ethereum scaling challenges. Zero knowledge rollout specifically. It's so hard for me to sit there sometimes. And honestly, it's really hard to actually read while everybody's watching. But by the way, rollup specifically,
it is hard.
We're seen as the superior technology because they have advantages over so-called optimistic rollups in terms of speed. Speed and security. Ahead of Drake's DevCon talk, many were left wondering what the Beam chain would mean for zero-knowledge rollup on Ethereum and whether they would become obsolete. That's really a misconception, said Alex. I'm not going to even try to say the name. Okay, there we go.
I'm suffering just as you guys are out there through this.
So we're all suffering. We're gonna suffer together. The CEO of Matter Labs, the developer first behind ZK Sync. The changes that Justin announced are focused on the consensus layer, not on the execution layer. It's not going to affect the executive layer. And then they go on to basically talk about how things work and what it works and how they're going to do it. So, but what I thought to myself with this is, and this is another thing I think is super important, right, is crypto, and I was talking to a guy this morning, I said, right now, like we're just on the cusp of really even innovation. Like we kind of have the layer part behind it, right? We have our foundation of like blockchain and what's actually happening. But as we move forward, like what are going to be, like, are there going to be new, I was actually listening to Forward Thinking, which is a YouTube show, which by the way, they sold it for like 91 million. Shout out to them. And this was a while back ago, but it's still, if ever they're ever watching this, who knows? They might not. I don't know. But if they do, dope. Hopefully one day we might be able to do something similar.
91 million.
I'd
buy a lot of fire chicken.
Yes, that would. Yes, that would. I think it was 91 or 81 mil, but either way, it's still nice, right? He's set. But the reason why I'm saying this is one of the things that we're talking about is how we've seen just kind of, it's going to be really new type. Are there going to be really any new, like real innovations, right? That's going to come out of Bitcoin or blockchain or cryptocurrency? What type of new developments? And people have said, oh, no, I think we've kind of seen with, CK rollups and a lot of the other stuff, what's actually going to happen. And I thought to myself, every time we say that and every like bull run, something new comes out in the next, something is developed in the bear run that is then, excelled and it's made better. And I just was wondering, like, what new creative thing is actually going to be created? And I think it only has to do with the AI system. The AI system is coming into crypto and seeing what they're going to suggest in relationship to what we're doing with it. As you said, with Legit DAO, it'd be so interesting to see with their AI, like as I'm interacting, like what do you think would be the best way to actually get around this issue or problem? and potentially it could create a whole entire new innovative system that
It
would
would
just
just
blow the
create,
other.
copy itself. And
Yeah.
I don't know. I always thought that the machines would never really become aware and become a problem because of electricity and money. And it's possible that AI, the next evolution of these AI tokens,
Become efficient.
they'll make money. They'll know they
Yep.
need to make money, and then they'll launch
Yep.
shit and make it, and
Yeah.
and then have access to money, which will then pay for electricity, and whatever it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Once you can easily convert into fiat
Yeah.
or consume things and pay for things in any cryptocurrency at all, AIs will be able to do that. They'll be able to pay. They'll be able to read the electric bill and say, I need to pay $83 this month, or I need to pay $642 billion because I used the worldwide energy supply. It's mind-boggling. Even brilliant guys like Steve that was on today probably can't even grasp the changes that are coming. And he tried to explain them, which made my brain leak out my ears again.
Well, but me and you talk about this a lot during our, quiet, I call it maybe quiet times with Pedro, right? I don't know what to call it. It's weird. But we start talking, right? And I'm like, dude, this is what's actually being developed currently right now with AI, with actually new systems that are being developed. I mean, just the idea that there are 7 different ways of quantum computing to actually happen and develop. I mean, and this all happened within the last 2 years. Like 2 or 3 years, they've developed new ways of doing things, how to do things, and they've used AI specific, right? Not even AI like general, because again, we're not AI general, and just the advent of being able to use a algorithm to create new type of ideas is an amazing thing. And why would it not? Why would it not bleed over into crypto? Why would it not bleed over to the efficiency of new systems being created? I mean,
Pedro?
Great ideas.
Where'd you go?
Yep. Can you?
Yeah, you getting a phone call again?
No.
Your resolution just went 0. Let me look at your. Let me look at your. Yeah, your internet connection is lagging.
To me, it shows it's perfect.
It just went back to green. It went all the way down. It's amazing. I can monitor your internet connection through here.
It's actually, well, I'm looking at it right now. It never changed. I still had like 3 megabits on my phone the whole entire time. I never changed. It stays between 2.5 to 3. So it's really. Obviously, I'm looking at it right here, right now. And you're saying it went to nothing?
It went red. You froze. You were like gone.
Oh, that's interesting. Oh, well, let me finish up my thought before it goes through, and I'll make it quick, succinct. We don't have the corner of good ideas. We don't have the corner on it, and it's going to be really interesting as we interact with AI, what it proposes for us as well, in conjunction with, well, if that's a good idea, let's do this. And I think that's what we're going to see in the next bull run after we come back from this bear run, where we're starting that bull run from that bear run. So,
welcome 76 Norton to the show. Thanks for joining us. We've been on for about 3 hours now. We had a great company on earlier today talking to the dev about that. And thanks to everyone else for joining us too. Yes, we're long show today. Need to rest the voice up.
Yeah, because we got tonight, so that's why we got to get going. But hey, finishing off the show here, what are your thoughts on what we're going to be able to see here with our community as it keeps growing, which, by the way, it is growing like gangbusters? What do we hope to see comes next with our community as we see our Rumble crowd growing, as we see the YouTube, and as well as the X community? As I'm actually looking at all my screens that I have up here right now. And then in addition to that Facebook page as well. Dude, I don't know if you noticed, but our Facebook views, bro, are climbing as well.
Really?
So, yeah, I went back and looked at it. And, dude, we've been doing about 50 to 100 people the last couple of weeks. And I sat there and I was like, oh, that's interesting. I don't know if you noticed that, but
I
went
didn't.
through
I
and
looked
kinda
through it
ran them.
yesterday, and I saw 1 or 2
No,
shows
bro,
that
I'm
had
looking at it right now.
very
Oh,
interesting.
yeah, I don't like that because I've looked at it and I was like, wait, I thought I've seen different. So yeah, maybe you know what? It could be maybe the one that I'm on is basically somebody cloned us and then just post our stuff there.
It
Wouldn't that be epic?
it happens
They have
periodically,
more.
and you can always tell because they try to friend you. Like DYOR wants to be your friend, and you're like, wait a minute, I already was a friend of that guy. Let's see. I'm looking at.
I think that's what happened because I'm looking at it right now, and we literally have views that are kind of pretty high up there. So I am like, okay, so I think somebody did literally friend us, and or took our system because literally, it's. I mean, this one got.
Well, what's the? Just send me the link.
Oh, it looks, dude. They just. Oh my goodness.
What? Send me the link.
Yeah, I don't think I can. It literally just kicked me out of it. I am not joking.
Kicked you out
Yeah.
of it.
You can delete somebody. I'm not looking at it. I think they're here. I'll see what can happen.
Send me the link. I'll use a Ninja account to look at it.
Yeah, that's hilarious. Hopefully, I'll be able to. Here we go. Videos, photos. Where are my videos? Boom. Lives. Here we go.
You there, Pedro? I think you went on mute again. El no hero Pedro O. No, that's our page. I can't hear you, Pedro. That's our page. I still can't hear you. El no hero Pedro O. Nothing. All right, I think, I don't know if Pedro's, not sure what's going on with Pedro there.
There you are. There you are. Boom. Let's check out Bitcoin here.
You there, Pedro?
Yep, I'm here.
All right, there you are. You're back. You're back. All right.
Guess who's back? Back again.
That is our page. You can see that we're streaming live on it.
Yep, I saw it. So you can see how our views there have been kind of climbing there. So kind of nice. From instead of being 1 or 2, a lot of replay is going on. What's going on?
Yeah, that's interesting. Why does that not say that on the back end of the system?
I don't know, but it's playing. Maybe they're trying to suppress me, trying to keep the brown man down.
Keep the brown man
Mexican.
Down. All right, what's going on? Is Bitcoin doing what we want here?
No, it is starting to do a little pullback. So I was a little timid on going long here.
It blasted through that stop. Thank God we put that in.
Oh yeah. Yep. I'm always about here. So we got that hour candle here. We went up first, so it should be pulling back a little. That's why I was looking at these more or less where our stops are at, but we can see it pull back to a couple places here into the evening as the markets start to slow down here. We saw a good push up today. Let me see here real quick. So that's boom. I like this area right here. What time is this being created? 4 o'clock, 8 o'clock. Boom. Really, right now, I could see it kind of pulling back to this area here.
Wait, this Facebook thing makes no sense at all.
No sense.
It really does. That one page it shows, this one video has 80 views, and then when I look at it in the back end system, it says we have 2 views, but it has 15 likes and reactions. So you can't have. I mean, I don't get it.
It's a little. That's why I was thinking, is it a fake account that's just live streaming us? But no, it's not. It's really us.
Yeah.
Look at that. Well, that's just cool. Very, very, very cool. So I'm looking to see if the market sells off. I like this area right here. For many of our viewers tonight, we'll check this out. Playing off of that 96,200 to that 95,539 area, primarily because, like I always say, if we want to see it go up, we need sellers to come on the other end to take our buys. And the way they do it, pushing it down. All righty, guys. Thank you so much for coming in today. We appreciate every one of you. Great conversation today with Legit DAO, right?
Yep. It was a great conversation.
Great, man. I really look forward to having other conversations with him as we really start to move forward, dude. I hope we are really able to connect with him and do a lot of collab conversation ones. I think it could be like fireside chats with how do we say his last name? Rodrigue. I want to say Rodriguez, but I know it's.
I know. I want to say it the Spanish way too, but it's.
Yeah. It's Rodrigue. Rodrigue. That's going to be a lot of fun with him. He's a good dude. I can see it. Legit guy.
Let's get to quick couple of comments here. Judas is. Yeah. You must have been selling some cars today, Judas. You're a happy guy today.
Pedro is.
You guys are like Bitcoin, all up.
He's back.
I think that should have updated. Why doesn't that update when I tell you?
You guys are like Bitcoin all up. Kinda. Bitcoin all up as it's moving back down. So here's the thing. It very much could have broke out right now, right? Like we saw the next leg. We saw a consolidation right here. And so I was potentially thinking.
I got bad news for you, Pedro.
Come down. What's up?
Your screen isn't on. And I'm not going back to it.
We just froze. Oh. All right, sounds good. You're right, man. It's the thing is right now we're in a really big push up, so I think they're going to go through. And normally, guys, I did sell a cop car yesterday. Whoop whoop. Sorry, I don't mean to blow you guys' ear over there. Guys over from Southern Cal, Central Valley. Anyways, okay. Everybody's like, dude, for real? Wait, what is up with this? Chat disconnected. Please wait while we are trying.
Yeah, you're having some internet troubles, Pedro. I can see it. Actually, I see it through your phone. And is that using Wi-Fi or data?
It should be using Wi-Fi. I should be.
Yeah, both your feeds just kind of petered out there a little bit. But now the phone's not looking good. If you share your Wi-Fi with someone, maybe they're running a lot of Netflix or something.
That's just me. All right, well, let's just go ahead and close things up here until tonight. What time are we getting started again tonight, my friend?
9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'll be on the Space Lounge. I don't think Carmen's going to join us. I'll try to get her to come back and join us again. If not, we'll have a nice, relaxing conversation about what's going on this week. Try to keep it to an hour or less.
Yes, it's going to be our goal. Fingers crossed.
Hopefully, we'll be talking about Bitcoin going to 100,000, but may not be in the cards today during this cycle and all that. Let's get the old kick tracks going here as the outro for you guys.
Oh yeah.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for today's long show. We had a record amount of people watch us on Rumble.
On Rumble.
Yeah, it's up at 289 views, Pedro.
Well, I see right now. All I see is 235. That's impressive. Again, thank you to all you guys over there. Really appreciate you. Absolutely.
And let's see here on we've had over 110 on YouTube.
Man, and like he said, you'll start to see it double, right? And this is where we've been pushing so hard all year to get to that critical mass where like that 100 that 100 period of people watching us, all of a sudden it goes to 200, then 400, right? But right now we in this past year we've been going from 5 to 10, the 20, and then we take a break and we jump back to 10.
Yeah.
And then
All right, Pedro, I gotta wrap this because you're not hearing the show music. I try to time it for that. Quickly, Crypto Mike says, later, dudes. Remember, go see Crypto Mike if you want a pump fund coin that is all about helping military guys out, veterans. And also, have a good afternoon. Thanks, everyone, from the Legit crew. You're too legit to quit. Too legit to quit. If any of you guys are still here, thank you very much. And we will see you tomorrow at this time. And if you're someone that's going to be around tonight, feel free to watch us tonight. Other than that, ladies and gentlemen,
What time?
My 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, GMT UTC -5. And other than that, my name is Tom, otherwise known as Striking. So glad to host another episode of this great show. We'll check it out. See you guys later.